Well, okay. Well, we're on now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Dorkvision stream, where the players are back up to their old tricks in Allure. Um, Good for the skin. Good for not being in the Underdark. There's a car alarm going off outside, but you probably can't hear it, but it's annoying me. Uh, great. So, anyway, last time on Dungeons and Dragons. You guys started doing some of your downtime activities. Uh, Mao started trying to get into the Vintners Guild via the Minnows gang that she was acquainted with before, once again taking up the mantle of Biff Longsteel, a rando gang member that she bribed to take his place, and he happily obliged. I believe Mao also investigated the brothel as well, noticing that it is up and running with, as of yet, no signs of demonic entities, but there is the sewer dungeon is still there, although it's been blocked off from the rest of the sewers. Hopefully, they're on the up and up again. As for the rest of you guys, I believe Boom Crash met up with Juliana to let her know about her ability to learn magic once more. Zumasu went to the Leaf Crown, the police sort of enforcers in Allure, to discover that Captain Arn, who he scryed on, is not imprisoned in a cell somewhere. Uh, he is just doing fine at the top of the Acanthus Guild, the Acanthus branch, just sitting there in his office telling him about the politics of the war that's brewing on the horizon. The consuls are set to vote on that, or at least debate it next week. This week, though, the Senate is voting. Um, and that's closed doors. I believe Amon began training with Sharn at Galestone. He's still at Galestone. Started learning how to push kegs up and down hills um, for several days, um, several hours. So that's where we uh, come back to today. Welcome back. So, uh, the floor is kind of given to you guys. What do you guys want to do in your first week or so of downtime? Just let me know what you want to do first and who wants to go first if they have a pressing issue. That's fair. Your nightmare has replenished, is that why? Excellent. So, Amon, you ride at breakneck speed back to Allure, passing through Kimot on your way there. Um, you can like grab a bite to eat there or whatever. So there are no encounters. Nobody wants to bother the Skull Rider on a nightmare. So that's good. Hey, isn't that the guy that just killed two dragons? Yeah, let's mug him. Hell yeah. Black cars are fine. Uh, all right. So Amon is heading back, so that's probably what he's going to be doing the first half of this week. Anybody else? Yep. Okay. So that's. Oh, I actually need to. Hold on a second. I'm gonna delete all your characters for reasons. Um, because I gave you guys. Here's Mel. Uh, I gave you guys new characters tokens, but they aren't updated for this page. So you have your new aliases, since Mao wanted to get her aliases going, being an assassin rogue. Um, well, I just needed to update the token. Anywho, Mao, can you test this out for me? Just right-click on your character, who is in the center of the map here. Oh, you're not even in Roll20. Huh. Hey, Boom Crash. No, Zumasu. Why don't you right-click on your token and see if you can change into one of the two other aliases you have there. Perfect. I love it. This is I'm that's Harold. That's who you presented to the Ivory Herald. That one you were disguised, but for the other one is just if you changed your name, but just so I know that you're in an alias at the moment. And yeah, and everybody has a Groucho Marx and or Wario nose and mustache sort of token on their tokens now. uh, okay, so Mao, why don't you change into Manny there? He should be one of the tokens that you have. Exactly. Unfortunately, it doesn't change your token name, which is fine. But so you had described this to me off camera, but you have a few aliases, and this week you're going to start establishing the alias of Manny, a quaestor in the Leaf Crown branch of the Senate. He's basically a faction in the faction of the Leaf Crown, but he works in the Senate, as well as with the consuls. He's kind of in the offices in and around there. So I'm gonna have you. Um, I mean, this is kind of a class feature, so you can kind of just establish these aliases. Does it say you can have a maximum number of them, or? Okay. I feel like we should make an attempt to get this alias in the position that you want, um, to see how much influence you can garner in the Senate. So let's have you, Mao, make a, uh, let's call it a deception check. I mean, I say let's call it, but that's obviously what it is. You're deceiving people. And let's take you to the Senate. Oh man, everybody takes off their masks and they're all like goblins underneath. Yep, history tends to repeat itself. Uh, and to be fair, she did love a Taurus before he turned on her. She has a thing for those pointy ears. So, Manny, you don your hat of disguise borrowed from tragedy and head into the Aloran Senate and start acting like you own the place. Not like you own the place, but like you belong there. You start, yeah, and you're able to pass off like when people ask you like, uh, who are you? What are you doing here? You're able to successfully pass off that you are just a new hire. Your official title, or fake official title, is that you are a quaestor, which is a the lowest sort of high-ranking thing in the government. Basically, you're a financer. So now you can do taxes. No. Everybody does taxes. You could. So you've infiltrated the Aloran Senate, and let's say that you have met a new contact that you've by the end of this week you've successfully been able to insert yourself into this person's like uh what's it called, you're beneath this person, this you work for this person now. um yeah, you've sort of snuck your way in there, like, oh yeah, there was some confusion with the paperwork. I don't know where it is, but I think I'm supposed to be here. And you've played both sides of that until it's kind of official now. So now Manny works beneath Banin, who is a Eldritch Knight of the Hazel Guard in the Leaf Crown, but they have since retired and gone on to government work. They are a consul, and they are a consul for the Leaf Crown, as you would imagine, because that's where you were trying to go. Um, do Did I say he before? It's a she. She is a half elf, and due to a curse, her skin is mottled purple and blue, but people don't seem to mind. It seems to be well known that this half elf just has like patterned purple and blue skin. It's a little strange to you, but everybody seems to think it's fine. So she seems to trust you with some of the work that you guys are being given, and she starts handing you some papers. So I'm going to have you make an investigation check. How about you also then make a persuasion check for me then, to see if it successfully kisses ass. Okay. Um, so you thank Banin for the papers, um, and you promise that you'll get right to work immediately. Uh, Banin kind of like keeps a close eye on you all day. She's not sure what to think of you yet, working under her, but she doesn't seem to mind the extra hands. It seems like things are ramping up from your investigation to the debate that is coming up in lieu of the war. You've actually been able to. It wasn't very hard to find, but you've actually found the Leaf Crown's talking points in the upcoming debate. Um, everything else though is a little beyond you. You're not into politics, and a lot of the words are confusing. You had to look up what the heck the different like. Oh, you're a consul? What's that? Um, it was a little over your head, but this much you were able to garner. I just need to find it. Okay, so the Leaf Crown um, is mostly using the assertion of the aggression of the other two kingdoms, and that Allure should not stand for it, and that we have the might of both the church and the arcane seat behind the military. We should be able to take charge of this conflict between Connacht and New Dawn. That's how they seem to see it. They kind of want to. We want to be. I was about to say the world's policeman. Um, that is generally what they're talking about. But yeah, um, before you're able to get to like anybody else's arguments or like rebuttals that they have, um, the workday ends and Banin takes back their papers and shoos you away for the day to get some work done in her office after hours. Oh, of course not. You're new, so you can take it off early today. I need to get some stuff done for this upcoming conflict. Uh, Same to you, Manny. Thank you. That will be all. Dismissed. Super kiss ass. I'm going to call you this that's not your name. All right. Okay, so Mao has started becoming Manny, and that's what she's doing for most of this week. How about for the rest of you guys? Zumasu, since we're on the Leaf Crown, okay. Can you remind me what you're trying to follow up on? Okay, which do you want to take care of first? We want to take care of the winery first? All right. So for that, I'm probably gonna have you head to a lot of districts. Um, Honestly, I feel like you're probably just gonna end up going to um, like yeah, the Hall of Guilds probably has the Merchant Guild in it. There's also the Gate District Market, uh, so I can take you in that general vicinity. Um, Huzzah. Uh, so the Hall of Guilds is to your north directly, and the Gate Market is to your west. And yeah, so I'm gonna have you make a doop-a-doo charisma check. You can call it persuasion, I guess, um, to basically talk around and look for someone who would be willing to run your winery. Because it's a big commitment and it involves moving out of the city and all that. Indeed. So, you decide to head into the gate market, but after talking to a few people there, most of them already have their own businesses set up, and the gate market is mostly run by like a bunch of like busybodies in the like larger building. So you head off to the Hall of Guilds on a tip, and you make your way inside and register your winery as an official business of Allure. And in that line, the Hall of Guilds has agreed, thanks to your persuasion, to try and set you up with a general manager that you can pay. Basically, you've hired the temp agency of Allure. Well, yeah, I say temp agency. I mean like job finding agency, I guess. Job hunters, job recruiters, headhunters. That's the word. Allie just said it from the background. So yeah, you've set up your winery, and that's all the business expenses and whatnot. This is included in your business expenses. It's not like a thing. So you're essentially paying. Oh, there is also the option. So you're an official business. Do you want to be a guild member? Because that will cost extra. Okay. So the guild associated with winemaking is the Vintners Guild. Um, so do do do. I actually have this info here. So, being associated with the Vintners Guild costs $15, or not $15, 15 gold pieces per month in guild fees. Um, but it'll give you a bonus permanently to profit checks because they are advertising for you and buying and negotiating the movement of your wine. Yeah. It that's per month. Sure. And we can also take that out of like calculations whenever you do a check or something. Uh, okay. So that's the Vintners Guild kind of will do that for you. They're essentially getting word out to all of the people that sell wine that there is going to be a new set of wine available coming directly from Galestone, a rural, local business. Shop Elore. Elore first. I'm sorry. Well, you should go to the Galestone Winery. Uh, they'll be up and running soon. Start selling their shittier stuff after a month, but the rest will come with time. It takes time to make wine. Yep, there are a lot of like merchant guilds in Allure, but only two of them are powerful enough to become senators. They've essentially voted on the two most powerful guilds in Allure, which is surprisingly not the Vintners Guild. It's mhm. As well as the Builders Guild. The Builders Guild? Yep. The Jewelers Guild senator is Azaki Ariesis. Do. Okay. So, um, I'll say that this takes you a lot of the time. Um, so figure out what you want to say to Azaki and what you want to talk to them about. Let's move on to Boom Crash. What are you up to this first week? All right. So you're going to head to the Arcane Seat, the college in Allure of prestigious magic users. Um, of which you have magic. You're not supposed to have magic, you're supposed to do magic. You just have magic, which is a problem for some people. Um, okay. So you are going to go to Edgrenor. Uh, we can take you to his office real quick, I guess. Uh, do 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 do. Perfect. So, you go to Edgrenor's office and catch up with him really quick. You knock on the door and head inside before opening it, and Edgrenor is there, poring over several tomes. Boom Crash. Glad to see that you're okay still. Is have you had any experiences lately? Well, you can certainly enroll in the college again. Um, so, uh, I am unfortunately an expert in necromancy. and I do have a lot of things to attend to. I'm also looking into that person you told me about. I haven't gotten far yet, um, but I do have a lot of my own things to attend to. I am flattered. Here, I'll give you the name of somebody I can trust. He writes on a little scrap of paper the name of a wizard, a teacher here. It says Emmeline McKinnon. She's from Connacht, um, but she's a pretty expert conjurer. Um, so she'll be able to help you out with this. Oh, of course. She's down the hall and circle around the entire rowdiness of the building. You'll eventually find her. We're in um she's in 206, I believe. Of course. And so I know of this a Taurus fellow. Um I've heard his name somewhere before. I guess he's a consul. Um but this Artemis, um I don't think he I don't think he's been here for a while. It says here uh he was expelled in about 4 or 5 years ago. Fair enough, but I figured I should look into any tips that you've given. I'll tell you if I find anything else. uh, and let me know if you have any problems with that amulet. Of course. Stay safe, Boom Crash. Okay. You head down to go find. Uh-oh. What the? It's not letting me get rid of this thing. Oh, I see. Yep, I was trying to get rid of the building, the room, uh, but it was on the wrong layer, and I was as well. So you head into the Arcane Senate or Arcane Seat to try and find this person. You eventually find them. Emmeline McKinnon is wearing the God. What color is it? I believe it's yellow. Yes, it's yellow for conjuration. Um, She is wearing the yellow robes of a conjuration wizard. She welcomes you inside. Um, oh, hello. What can I help you with? I've just been in the middle of grading some papers. Oh, I suppose I could. Are you a student here? Oh, damn. So I just found out that Twitch people cannot hear my desktop for some reason. That's not good. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Damn it. Everyone speak. Damn it. Nope, it's not working. Uh,
Uh-oh.
okay. Oh,
Yeah?
sorry everyone.
There you go.
Shit, that's annoying.
You're fine.
Okay,
Yay.
quick recap for everybody that can't put together what we did. Uh, damn it.
I think they heard half of the conversation, so they kind of know what's going on.
I was talking a lot.
Yes.
That's obnoxious. Anywho,
Yeah.
so what we've been doing, as you've sort of hopefully gathered from half the conversation, my apologies. I had to plug in my headset and it got confused and it started listening to my speakers instead of my headset. And there's nothing coming out of the speakers because I'm using my headset. Ugh. So, uh, do. Allie, Mao is taking the guise of Manny. She was able to sneak into uh, the Senate there, uh, make a name for themselves as a quaestor of the Leaf Crown under the person that I mentioned. Zumasu went and got his guild registered, and he's now a member of the Vintners Guild and the Leaf Crown. So,
And I'm honest villain.
good for him.
I mean, it's technically legally recognized,
Yeah,
and half of my staff and half of the Leaf Crown doesn't seem to care anyway, so it's whatever.
yeah. Now that I'm like thinking back over the conversation, I was doing a lot of the talking, so I don't think people missed much, which I'm grateful for. They did probably miss a lot of this conversation just now with Boomcrash and Egrenor. So Boomcrash is going to be taking lessons from uh, that person that I mentioned,
Emmeline McKinnon.
Emmeline McKinnon, transmutation wizard. Otherwise, she's gotten her homework back from Edgrenor in order to pursue her lessons, and she's asked if Edgrenor could help her, but he's a necromancer, and he doesn't have access to much of the conjuration school. He's not a teacher of that. So, basically, she's gone down to the conjuration wizard, and was just asked if she was a student here, which I believe you were at some point. You just left
So
for
I
2 months?
definitely enrolled.
Yeah, you definitely enrolled. I don't remember like the cost of that. I think it was like something that you were able to pay up front, I think.
Yeah, it was basically, if memory serves, how it worked out was that whenever I inscribe new ritual spells in my Book of Shadows, that cost for that spell is sort of like the
Oh yeah, you're taking a lesson was essentially like that cost was for the lessons. Yeah, that's fine. And I mean, it's okay to assume that Alore also, if you aren't enrolled in school, that it's just like a fee to take classes.
Mhm.
Okay, so uh, you mentioned that you're not a student here, but you are willing to pay for classes. Emmeline is excited at this prospect, and is willing to teach you. She warns you that she is a tough teacher, but fair.
I'm excited. Can't wait to learn. Thank you.
Good. Perhaps see me in a few minutes. I'll need to get something set up. You said you wanted lessons on this specific spell?
Yeah, I saw it performed, and I think I can figure it out, but it's a little above me, so I definitely need some help.
Yes, this is a upper level spell. My dear, what's the most powerful sort of magic that you can cast? This is 5th tier.
Uh, Hold on. Let me.
I just want to know what I'm working with if I'm teaching a youngling or teaching a more
I can
experienced
cast
person.
telekinesis.
Oh, spell that can move things about, heavy things. Alright, that sounds strong. So I'll assume that you have an amount of strength that is capable of channeling the spell, and are used to channeling such things. We can work with this. Come with me. And she takes you
Okay.
to a room that is filled with rare inks and chalks, as well as a bunch of different like mortars and pestles for grinding gemstones. And she starts teaching you in the ways of this lesson. So I told you already that it's going to be about 4 times the time and cost to learn this spell as a ritual, because it's not normally supposed to be a ritual spell.
Mhm.
and it won't act like one either. You'll still need to like pay the ritual costs, and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's essentially a way for you to learn a useful spell.
Mhm.
So, she takes you in here and introduces you to some of the um, less costly ingredients that she can use to help you learn this spell before you actually start getting into it. Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Um. Do. Not attack dagger. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay.
So, it's not that bad. You've started to apply some of your learnings, but this is by far the most confusing part for you. The fact that you need to learn all of these runes and sigils and symbols and all the patterns, and you need to figure out how to do them correctly each time. It's a very slow process, and your hand is very shaky. It's not quite getting things right. The things will glow, but it's intermittent and not quite what you're looking for. Artemis's glowed like very consistently and brightly. Um, but Emmeline assures you that you'll get it with time. This is a very complex spell, and she's willing to put in some of the time to help you. But for now, she leaves you to work on it on your own, and you are struggling a bit.
Mhm.
So, you'll be excited to learn that you have one success for this. Actually, no, that's failure. Sorry. Um, you're making progress in this pseudo skill challenge to learn this.
Mhm.
But that is one failure. So let's move on to. So Amon is still heading to Allore. Amon, you have just arrived in Allore, like very early in the week. Is there anything that you want to take care of now that you're here?
Um. Hmm. Oh. Okay. I think. Um. I need to go to the church if they're gonna let me in, and I gotta need to do some. Actually, is there a library that's not affiliated with the college?
Not with the
Or
Arcane College?
yeah, because you mentioned the college has the library and such. So I'm just wondering, like what other information venues do I have? Is what I'm asking for, like mystical shit.
Mystical shit? Well, there was a library in the Church of Hieronius. You looked through that, but you also just got a very low roll. You kind of just head desked at that point. Um,
The fatigue, yes.
there are also several other churches if you're looking for mystical advice, as well as your token is right near a larger one. It's a very different sort of religion than you're used to, and I don't think anybody's even been there yet. The Council of Moons is actually a quite powerful church in Allore. Not as powerful as the Church of Hieronius, but they're the founding church of Allore. They're a group of people worshipping elven gods.
Hmm.
But the shrines to the minor gods, up like
I see it.
yeah,
Yeah.
right next to you, each of those is a different church to a different god that is worshipped in Allore, and there's a lot of them there.
Okay. Um. Actually, is there? Let me walk by them. Is there anything next for Nerul?
There actually is a Church of Nerul here, which is slightly surprising to you since you heard Encabulos uttering that name, and it was presumably an evil one.
Edgar is there taking his lunch break.
Oh, hey, I'm on. What's up?
So, I don't know which one these are, but let's just say I go to Nerul's. How about
Okay,
that?
I'll pick a random one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh,
Of
there's
course,
only 10.
it's only the goddamn farthest one. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Uh, it's actually this one. Aha. Temple of Nerul. Okay. You head along the thoroughfare, searching at the bases of all these gods. These are much smaller shrines than the church and the Council of Moons. They're sort of like just a mini rounded temple, very Romanesque, with pillars surrounding a sort of shrine. There are several attendants here, but it's not like there's any living spaces or anything like that. It's mostly just a few worshippers and a few priests. There is probably someone there that you can meet and talk to.
So it's basically the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the Lincoln Memorial, but um, so there is a female half-elf that is there on duty right now. She has dark skin, and it's very pockmarked with scarring. You're not sure if it's ritual or just an accident of some sort in this person's past. And they have dark, cropped black hair, and they're quite tall, and they have a cat in their arms that they are just stroking as they go around to all of the worshippers. There's not too many, and just ask them if they need any assistance. They come to you and sort of look you up and down. Can I help you at this fine church of Nerul?
Mayhaps. What do you does the name Incabulos ring any bells?
Cabulos. Let me take a second to see if I know anything about that. Unfortunately, that's not a name that resonates with me. Could you possibly fill me in?
I seek spiritual guidance, and our faiths may be intertwined.
And what brings you to Nerul's place of worship?
Uh, hmm. I'm kind of like suspicious to trust her right now. I was, God, how do I want to say this? Okay, I'm gonna say I seek spiritual guidance. I had a near brush with death, and I and during my flash before death, I heard an utterance of this deity's name, and I wish to know more.
Hmm. Well, death is certainly something that Nerul is familiar with. It's not uncommon to hear his name in the grips of death or the transfer from this mortal coil. Perhaps you'll sit with me a while and discuss your experience.
Sure.
She gestures you over towards a sort of ironwork set of essentially lawn chairs or something, like porch chairs, but they're elaborately decorated with like bone-looking motifs and skulls and fitted with cushions. She sits with you before the feet of a massive statue painted black, depicting Nerul with his skull-like face shadowing beneath his deep hood, a sickle in his arms. She asks you about your experience. She also introduces herself to try and make you feel more at ease. Her name is Thea, and she is known as the Mist Splitter.
Like I've been called the Scarred One. I want to see if that gets any reaction.
A scarred one? Well, I've been called that myself. I wouldn't say that it's a title, or just an insult.
And I'll do a light forced laugh. Ha ha. Um,
It's not.
Yes.
It's more for her appearance, but you're not sure if that means she is a servant of Encabulos or something like that.
yeah, no, I'm just on edge. Just yeah, I get the impression that she's probably not like anything important, but at the same time, I'm just being on edge because, yeah,
Because you are.
um, yeah. So I would like to say, so, um, I must confide in you that I am a was channeler of Incapable's power, and the deity mentioned the rule to me, and frankly, I am here because I escaped, not because uh, I was granted any blessing. I was to remain dead, and now I believe um, I have the mission and the need to save my brethren's after in the afterlife.
I'm gonna have you make a persuasion check as you recall this sort of tale to her, um, just to see sort of what it
Shit,
instills in her.
it's a character sheet.
You can also just click your character and do rolls skills.
That doesn't exist in roll skills. Okay, I see it. Persuasion, you said?
Yep. It's not like you're trying to convince her of stuff, but the way that you retell this tale has her fairly intrigued, and she says, "Come with me.
Oh God,
Perhaps,
no.
perhaps there's something we can do."
They're gonna tie you up.
That'll be a good thing. I'm into that. But no, this is gonna be bad. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Let's follow.
Let's say yes to the story no matter what.
She goes around the back of the statue of Nerul, where there are stairs leading downward. Um, she takes a torch from like a side wall and guides you down into the depths of this shrine. There's a smaller room beneath the statue, a sort of mortuary filled with the bones. It's one of those like French catacombs type deals with bones lining the walls and like skull chandeliers and all that. But it's completely in pitch black except for the light of her torch. And she says, "Here, please have a seat on this mat here." And she goes around and starts lighting some candles with the torch before putting out
Mhm.
the large light. The candles are all red and shedding an eerie red glow about the room. Let's perhaps commune and see if we can find answers to your deathly problems. Perhaps you will find an
Oh
answer,
God, no.
and perhaps Nerul will have an answer for you. Do you accept?
All right. Yeah, yeah. What's the worst that could happen? Die.
Been there, done that. You sit down, and she begins a chant imploring Nerul to fill this space and feel the grip of death that he has on your mortality. Come on. As this happens, a stench of bone dust fills your lungs, and the room sort of spins and gets a little dizzying for a second until the candles just blow out. You could see a vague light coming from the outside of the shrine, but that is now dark. Thea then looks around, saying, "I think it's working. I believe he's here. Please, Nerul, I implore thee, what hold have you over this corporeal being before us?" A whisper fills the room, but it is in a strange language, one that you can't really comprehend. And Thea closes her eyes. This dark room. I see. And what questions have you, Amon of Nerul?
What how do I sever the deliverance of souls to Incapulos?
Thea gasps. He has heard this name. He has heard this name. And you present him with new information. Those souls do not belong to him. They belong to Nerul and were stolen. Nerul is angry, but indifferent. He only brings death. That is all that concerns him. He cannot help you with this matter. One more question for Nerul before I sever the ties. He is growing impatient.
Alright. In that case. Actually, I'm actually kind of at a stump to what I should ask. Hold on, just give me a sec. Let's see.
What was the thing called? The Encabulous kept calling you, or like
No,
the
the Scar
others
one.
of you?
Yeah, but right now
No, like the Rider.
the Pale Rider, but
The
I mean,
Plague
that's what he
Rider,
wants.
but yes.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
he wants me to be, but or wants someone to be. But if Nerul will not give me the answer to Severance of Souls, then like I'm kind of at a loss. So I was like, no, I think that'll be it. Like I really can't think of anything because I was really expecting connection. I guess Nerul wouldn't want this the soul severing connection to the afterlife. So, God, I might have to fight two gods on this.
I'm sorry, I do not have the answers that you seek. Then you will fall too!
Yeah, I
Man
guess.
shakes fist at Cloud.
Yeah, basically.
She whispers, "Very well. Nerul, please watch over this one. He seems important. I know you care not, but care for this one, for his time." The candles relight, and the light returns to this room. The stench of bone dust escapes from your nostrils. The catacombs are quiet and empty. Thea's cat had since disappeared, but it leaps up into her arms once more. You notice that the side of one of its cheeks is missing and decayed. She strokes the cat and says, "You're an interesting one, Mr. Amon. I asked him..."
How do you know my name? I never gave you my name.
Nerul knew it. He, like the other souls you mentioned, he felt a slip, like something was missing from him, and you confirmed it, that some of his souls were being taken, whisked away to this Encabulos you spoke of. He gave me a vague vision of this figure, a dark, writhing, deformed creature, and this must be the Encabulos you spoke of, a being of pain and plague and suffering, a being not of death, but of anguish. Nerul finishes the work that he begins. I'm frightened of this figure. I'm excited that you were able to escape from this dark place, but Nerul also brought me a vision that your grip on mortality, it's very broken.
It's tenuous at best.
There was... When I asked him about you and your grip with death, he showed me an image of a glass holding blood, like a wine glass, and it was completely shattered, but its pieces were all just held together. and nothing was leaking out yet, but it seemed like it could break apart at any moment, and yet was holding strong. I'm not sure what that means, but I can only assume that it's not good. We're a broken creature, Mr. Amon.
And so is your audio.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what it
but
sounded like, but you're a broken creature.
yeah. So, it's like, huh. Divine Communion reveals fairly the obvious, it seems. Like, I thank you for your time, and I am going to head on out. And this is frustratingly dead endish.
Did
So,
end.
yeah,
Um,
potentially.
Thea stops you as you try to leave. Wait, would you perhaps come back and pay homage to Nerul?
Oh.
Hopefully not.
Well, you will have to in the end. I assure you
Exactly,
of
as I said, hopefully not.
that. Gallows humor. Well, Mr. Amon, thank you for visiting us here today. If you're looking for a way to sever souls taken by a god, I'm afraid that not even gods can do that. But perhaps the work of men has been able to overcome those of the gods at some times. There are rules that gods have that men can break. I wish you luck in your journey.
Do not wish luck for me. It is for my brethren that I must go. I must venture forth.
Then luck to them, that they will not meet Nerul until their time has come.
And then I just gonna nod and just keep on trekking out.
Live well, and you leave.
I gotta do the Vulcan hand sign, and then just walking out.
She holds her cat up to her face real close off camera and goes, "Guy's a fucking nerd." Sorry.
Uh,
Alright, so let's go immediately to Zumasu. So,
Oh, I got my letter. Not really letter, but I got my plan.
you got your plan. You
Alright.
head into the Senate. You come across several people working for the Leaf Crown. You cross by Manny at some point. He kind of like looks at you, staring. But to you, this is just some random intern. Devilishly handsome elf noble just staring at you down. Mal recognizes you, of course, but
Probably wouldn't stare. If anything, I might follow him just to fuck with him a little bit, but not staring. Just more of like, sir, do you need anything, sir? Sir, can I help you, sir?
I'll just do a
But
sense
yeah,
or a
God,
perception.
that's annoying.
okay. You can
he's an intern.
you can do do an insight check. A perception isn't going to figure out this
Okay.
person's true intent.
That's fair. I guess I noticed them noticing me. That's all I got.
Reaching out.
Okay.
This person seems to be being sarcastic, or else they are trying to intentionally follow you because they feel like you're not supposed to be here. If I'm getting that right,
Kind of seems a little weird, and also I'm an intern. I'm new.
it's fair. So yeah,
I'm just gonna confront them with just I'm looking for somebody. Would you happen to know Miss Zaki Arasis? She's the senator for the Jewelers Guild. I'm just gonna like turn around and just be like, "Excuse
Manny,
me."
you've never heard of them.
No, I'm sorry. Today is my first day, so I'm still a little fresh. If you need anything with Miss Bannon, then I can help you there. But I'm sorry, no. Points off to another like person behind a desk, like maybe they can help, and then scurries away.
Maybe you should talk to my manager.
Nia, talk to my manager.
Shut up, Karen.
Okay, you rolled a deception. I'll roll a insight, and I'll just see if it's like, what's the deal with that person?
But I'm not being deceptive. This is my first day. I'm an intern.
It's true.
I'll just try and read into it.
It's fair.
That
Okay.
person's up to something.
Wow.
Most
That's all
politicians
I got.
are. Zumasu shrugs as he heads on to.
That intern's got to go somewhere or nowhere. We'll see what happens.
I feel rude. That's so rude.
You head through the Senate. It's confusing halls in the upper stories above the initial meeting area of the proletariat. There's several rooms that are just offices. You ask around, and eventually you find Diara, who promised to introduce you. They come to you. Who are you again?
Hi, my name is Zumosu Serpenthelm. I am both a new local business owner and a member of the Aloran judicial system. And I just wanted to see if I could take a moment of your time, treat you to lunch, and just go over some concerns I have about the upcoming state of affairs.
And this is Diara, by the way.
Oh, I thought it was Azaki. Okay.
She promised to introduce you to Azaki.
Okay, so this was Diara.
Yeah.
Then I'll just be like, "Hi, Diara. How you doing? I hope everything goes well. I thought I could take you up on that offer to introduce me to Azaki."
Oh, I did promise that, didn't I? Very well.
Yes.
I'm sure that Azaki's got some free time on his hands. Alright, follow me. She and a few of her, interns, follow her for a while as she talks to them. She seems to be getting ready for the debate, upcoming as well. She's talking to them, telling them what she needs taken care of, before they finally disperse, one by one, as she heads up to Azaki's office. There are a few guards that stand by. She nods to them, knocks on the door.
So essentially, my angle was I thought this was a girl, but I'll still work the same way. I was just gonna basically try and
Were you gonna
wine
seduce
and
them?
dine. Wine and dine.
Alright. Well, you can wine and dine a dude.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm guilty. So...
At best, it's just like we can go get a nice juicy steak at a nice place. I'll pay.
Okay. She knocks on the door. Mr. Ariesis, come in. You open the door, or she opens the door for you and leads you inside. Mr. Ariesis and a male half-elf looks up from their desk. They've got rose-colored skin and unruly dark brown hair, with gray eyes and a crooked nose. He looks up at you, and who is this? This is Zumosu Serpenthelm. He's with the Leaf Crown, I believe. He says he's in the judicial system, but he wanted to meet you. Wanted to have a talk with a senator. Very well. Well, if there's nothing else that you need from me, I need to get back to work with the... Yes, of course. We're all busy.
I'm just gonna, before she goes, thank her and just be like, "Let me know if you need anything. I really do appreciate this."
So, Zumosu, is it? What can I help you
Yes.
with?
I'm just kind of coming in here as a concerned citizen, and was wondering if you'd care to go out to lunch. I could treat you, and we could just discuss some politics and things that a new business owner like myself would be concerned about.
Well, I'm afraid I'm quite busy this week. There's the vote coming up just this weekend. I'm afraid I'm quite booked.
That is fair. But I guess my basic concerns are, I've heard that the Senate is going to be taking a vote pretty soon, and seeing as how I'm now the owner of a winery, and you're the representative of the Merchant Guild, I was wondering what sort of way it looks like the Senate's going to be leaning, if you have any insight on that.
Make a persuasion check.
Drop down.
Well, I'm a member of the Jewelers Guild, but as a representative, I'm afraid that you're going to have to wait for your input with the consoles. I've already sort of made my decision, and I'm afraid that I'm going to be voting that way.
All right. Follow-up questions, kind of still same but slightly different. So, as a new owner and as yourself are part of the Merchants Guild, was there anything we should be on the lookout for? Any practices we should adopt in the coming weeks? You know, if there's a difference between if we're at war and the government requires something of us versus if we're at peace and the trade goes on the same. Any advice you'd have on that?
Well, if we do go to war, it will hopefully be a boon for the economy, interior-wise, of course. We will be able to establish trade routes that expressly assist those of Eloran make, and I'm confident that your business will not be harmed in this effort, especially if you're with the vintners. If we are at war, which, since it would be a boon to the economy, we are definitely looking into going in that direction. It's less about the morality of the thing and more about business decisions, you see.
Understandable.
But trust me, your business, as most businesses in Allure, will be taken care of. Especially in a wine business, you will definitely be probably selling to those of us going into the military. Most production will be doubled, most likely, during this time. We're already drawing up plans.
That's reassuring, Senator. I'm going to plug my winery here now and still offer him to take him out at some point just to treat him to wine and shit. So just kind of like gonna be like
after the Senate vote?
Yeah, it doesn't help to get a senator in good favor. It doesn't hurt to have a senator in good favor, so I'm still gonna kind of offer like wine samples, and if he wants to still go tasting or something to get it, kind of have him kind of get an ear in the Senate too.
Make a new persuasion check, since we're willing to do it a bit later. He's not particularly interested in you, like, sharing information with you. He's more like trying to assure a voter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perception.
You're just a number to
Oh, that was better.
Oh yeah, better than 2. Good thing you accidentally rolled perception.
Because I mean, these senators work like they still have to campaign or whatever too, so I could still also make a donation hint at that.
Well, after the Senate vote, I will have some free time. Perhaps I can make time for your new winery. Not sure what good it will do for the Jewelers Guild, but I can certainly get you some connections if that's what you're looking into. I suppose we can draw up arrangements. I believe there's an upscale place in the Royal Baths that I usually visit. We can meet there.
Sounds good, Senator. Appreciate your service.
As with you, fellow merchant. That'll be all.
Thank you. And I'll peace out.
Awesome.
Didn't even remember your name.
Fair enough.
Fellow merchant. How do you do, fellow merchants? Alright. So. Now we go.
Hey, you.
So. We've sort of done. So Mao's been doing that, but Mao has something else that she needs to take care of. Going back to her. So, while you've been doing this all week, there is also the case of, yep, exactly. It's time to shift into Vintner's mode.
For things.
As you shift into Biff Longsteel. You're going to, the person has told you to meet up at Enel's Oddities. Was it the next day? Or was it like at the weekend? I don't recall. what I had.
I feel like it was a few days. I remember it being at least 3 to 4.
Okay. So midweek, you start getting ready. You're at Biff's apartment. You've been like shoring up. Do you want to do anything before you do this heist of Anel's oddities, your best friend that you've purchased things from before and almost got killed before?
What, you mean like as Biff, or maybe
As whoever you
trying?
want. I mean, in fact, all of you guys have already started doing these things. Do you guys want to tell each other what you've done at any point during this time?
No.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't tell them very much, except that I'm trying to handle the wine business.
That's fair.
Which is
I would
already
probably
knew.
check in at Zamosu's house, or and make sure that Boom Crash is getting food and saying hi and all this other stuff. Make sure he's kind of okay.
Anybody
Hey,
that I
but it's
see,
only-
I'm giving a hug and I'm telling them that I'm hanging out and trying to figure stuff out at the Arcane College. I'm at school.
Cool.
It'd be roomy stuff, so I just complain about having to do paperwork and trying to take care of the business. I'd be like, what do you do, Mal, for a living?
I do many things.
Don't make
Mostly-
it too illegal.
I mean, I scroll down some information as far as things happening within the Senate, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm figuring shit out, and I give the talking points for like the Leaf Crown to him.
Oh, that actually would be useful.
I have
I'd probably,
contacts in different places, so I'm sort of roaming around.
so-
Don't worry about me. I'll check in every morning.
Okay, as I said, don't be doing anything too disruptive, though. This is impressive, though. I didn't think you had that in you.
Disruptive
been-
is not in my name.
Fair enough. I've been trying to contact some senators to see how it goes. It looks like we would be, if this matters to you, we probably are going to be going to war. At the minimum, it seems like people lean that way for trade routes.
I mean, Alori definitely feels like they want to be the new police of the place, and they want to kind of take over some stuff, so yeah, war seems like a good way to kind of put their foot in the door.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it'd be best for the city, but at least my business will probably do better since local will do better.
I'll keep you updated. I'll check in every morning, but other than that, don't worry about me. I should be fine.
Alright.
If I'm not back the next morning, something happened. Go bug tragedy.
Okay.
So you're
I'll
pretty
keep that
much
in
checking
mind.
in every morning to make sure that they know that
Yeah.
nothing fucked up.
Yeah. They know that I'm alive, and if I don't check in the morning, that's sort of implied that something went wrong. So, and then tragedy would be, might know something.
Okay. Cool. I just wanted to, like, check in and make sure, like, that you guys, like, what you guys are telling each other and whatnot.
Also, Christopher, would I be able to do my sleight of hand thing? I want something.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
You can do Okay. Cool.
Wait, so Amon and Boom Crash, for the most part, you just tell everybody you're kind of doing your own research or going to school?
I'm not telling you anything. I don't have any conclusion to draw in the first place.
Fair enough.
Um,
I'm just wondering how
us-
you're doing, buddy.
Wow, really? Okay. Yeah,
Because-
Mao, that was
well,
a
that-
success.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. You're juggling a lot of stuff.
Chris, are you talking?
I am talking. Is it not coming
Can't
through?
hear you.
Um,
Try again. Okay, now I hear you. My headset went low for some reason.
okay. Can everybody else hear me? I guess that's a good
Yeah, I can
check.
hear you.
Yeah, we're fine. It's just
That
her.
was really weird. I
Okay.
didn't touch anything, and all of a sudden I couldn't hear anything.
Fix your shit. Anyway,
We all
let's
gotta
move
fix
on.
our shit. Okay. So,
Did I get the thing?
yeah, I said it was a success.
Okay, cool. That's the part I didn't hear.
Oh, the exact part that that was meant for you.
Yes.
It was a success. So, Mao, you are heading as Biff Longsteel to your event tonight on Florb's Day, whatever day I said it was going to be.
Door.
You head to Enel's Oddities in the dead of night. You find that a few blocks down, some of the minnows are starting to gather. Flickwhisker is there, as well as a few bandits, a handful at best. Fendrel Crew, the new leader of the minnows, is awaiting in an alley, flipping a dagger in her hand. Biff finally showed up.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a bit, but I said I'd be here, and I'm good today. Ain't no drink yet, but we celebrating after.
Yeah. Just, be quiet and stick near me.
He does the finger across lips thing.
Shh. Okay. Right, looks like we're all here. Whiskers, get in there, disable the alarms. Flickwhisker takes her one arm and gives a little salute, then collapses into a small rat. Her being a were-rat, she is able to do that. She slips into a crevice in the side of Enel's Oddities. Through a small crevice, she's able to creep in, and she's in there for about 10 minutes. Fendrel explains that she's going around trying to disable as many things as she can. Meanwhile, she starts explaining to all of you guys. There's you and 4 other bandits there. They have names, and they're good ones, too.
I'm sure they are.
We got...
Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby.
Easy.
We got Shifty. We got Snaz. We got... Snaz.
Sticky fingers. Snaz.
Snaz, Snaz, Shifty, and Narples.
Cool.
We gotta kill like half of them just to remember, so it's easier to remember their names.
Yeah.
Alright, folks. Here's the plan. Whiskers is inside, disabling everything. Once she opens the door, that's our cue to get inside as quick and quiet as we can. She starts distributing 3 wands. She gives one to Shifty, one to Snaz, and keeps one for herself. These will let you see the magics on any items that you find in there. Don't take anything that's blue, alright? Don't touch anything blue, because that's probably gonna blow up in our faces, alright?
Right? I mean, just point at the thing and I'll go and grab it.
Yeah. Biff, you're gonna be sticking with me. Gonna travel in groups of 2. We're gonna scout out, grab as many things as you can, and one small last-minute addition to our plan, we're looking for this. And she unrolls a parchment and sort of like uses her hooded lantern to light it up cautiously in the alleyway. It appears to be a box with like various filigrees like covering it. It's just a small cube of sorts. And after showing it to you, she furls up the scroll, says, "This is priority 1. Anything else, you can grab. Anything without magic, feel free to help yourself. But I warn you, if you set off a trap, if you set off a magic item, that's the end of all of us, alright? So be freaking careful, capiche?" Biff?
Yeesh.
Okay, good. Whiskers opens the door after a good 10 minutes or so. That's our cue. Everybody in. And let's, for one, change the music. Da 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 da. Okay. 2. Let's go to Enel's Oddities. You guys are here so you can see what's going on. Alright, everyone. Spread out. Comb the place. Right. Right, boss. Alright.
After you.
And remember, don't wake Enel. He lives in this place. Right? Yeah, will do, boss. Quiet as a mouse. That's my line, says Flick Whisker, as people start heading off to various directions. They start distributing themselves throughout the store, and eventually some of them start heading upstairs. Flick Whisker turns into a rat and starts flitting about the place. I'm just going to get rid of some of the people as they go off. There we go.
Yes.
So, like, how valuable is this box thing that you're looking for?
Listen, alls I know is that the guild wants it, okay?
Oh, I just figured it might be closer to an elf. It's like real fancy.
I don't know, man. The guild's just looking for it, right? Now keep your wits about you. Fendrel starts going over towards the boxes, and she waves her wand over it, and colors start to glow on the magic items. Not all of the items are magical, but a lot of them are. She's not sure what any of them do, but she's going to have you make an investigation check. Alright. It looks like there's nothing in this front area, in the wing that she's decided to take. You have found a tapestry. It's very plain. It's just one color with like some patterning on it. It seems to have some sort of illusion magic upon it. Do you want it?
Not blue, right?
It is not blue. It is the color of... Hold on. I have like a list. It is purple.
Sure. I mean, she said pocket anything that's not blue.
Alright. So you pocket it. You can add the tapestry to your inventory. I'll tell you what it does when you figure out what it does.
When we're looting or done looting and we're looking at what we grabbed.
Alright. Vendril like looks up and down. Got strange style, Biff.
You said grab anything that's not blue.
I also said be careful not to set off any traps. Prioritize the expensive looking stuff.
Fine, fine.
Shifty, quit clogging our room. Sorry. You start hearing like some creaks upstairs as people are like moving about and looking through stuff. Now, I'm gonna have you make a few more investigation checks as Fendrel is like leading you down the space and like hovering her wand over things. 20. You found a few items here that catch your eye. There is an item that is blue, Orud, but it is a golden tiger-shaped comb. Do you want it?
No. I'll make mental note that that's a fancy one, but no.
Alright. You've also found, like, there's a music box. It looks very expensive, and it catches your eye. It's got a lot of insect sort of motifs, made out of brass with chrysoprase gems. Do you want it?
I do, but I'll make mental note of it. I'm not gonna grab anything until we find this other box first.
Okay. Well, you grabbed the other thing.
Yeah, well, she yelled at me, so fuck her.
She didn't yell at you, she just said you had weird taste.
I'm pointing at my head.
Because if someone else triggers a thing, then you're not going to be able to grab a lot on your way out.
Or if I trigger a thing with one of these things. I'm gonna go with the music box over the golden tiger comb, if anything.
It's up to you. Last chance.
You said the tiger comb was blue, right?
The tiger comb is blue. The music,
music
box
box
does not
is
have
not.
any magic. But it looked
I will
expensive.
definitely- Yeah, grabbing the music box.
Alright, you pick up the music box. Make a sleight of hand check.
Nah, that's pretty good.
You pick up the box, and it clicks. And then you like stop the crank as soon as it starts clicking. It is a music box, after all. You kind of look at Fendrel, who like gives you the most angry stare. Do not
Is there a
fuck
key
this
that I
up.
can pull it out so it doesn't crank anymore?
You're able to stop it. You're able to
Okay.
silence it. Where are you putting that baby?
Think I'm going to carefully hold on to that. So don't make noise.
Okay. So you're holding on to this music box just in case. Cool. Fendrel's gonna start leading you. I swear. Make another investigation check. Right, a 15. Okay. You have found that there is a small feather that has various types of auras coming from it. Make an Arcana check. Okay. You aren't sure if any of those colors count as blue. I mean, who's to say if something really is blue or violet or purple? Green.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that be then.
Alright. You leave this item be. You've also found a marble statuette embellished with electrum and banded agate gems. It's depicting an antelope. It seems to be
Is it
expensive,
magical
but it
or
is not
not
magical. It is not magical.
I do not grab it.
Okay. And we're still not finding this thing, Fendrel says. Come on, Biff.
Telling you, it's probably upstairs, like someplace like hidden, or
They're-
like in a safe place.
They're all looking upstairs. Right?
And they better not fuck up. I don't know.
Shh. Make another investigation check. Alright. You found a pendant. This pendant is emitting a green aura, and it looks like a simple cloud with a gem at its center. Do you take it?
Is that a cloud with a gem at the center?
Yeah. It's a pendant of a cloud. The gem.
Glowing green. Yeah, it looks expensive. Can I just like make sure to double check that there's no, it's not like,
Trapped?
I don't know, there's no pull string, they're trapped? Yeah.
Sure. That'll be a perception check. Doesn't look like there's any pull strings.
I'll pocket it.
Alright. Carefully pick it up with a small jingle and put it in your pocket. Alright. Let's keep moving. As you guys are looking about, Snoz is pocketing several things. She's looking through all of her stuff, and then she like heads around to the other side, back where you guys were. Is there anything over there? No, I didn't see anything. Right. I think this is near where he sleeps. I'm gonna try and open the door. Actually,
What? Let me check to see if there's anything first.
yeah. Biff, why don't you check? She like holds her lantern up for you to see. You investigate the door, and it does appear to have a lock. It would probably need to be picked. Come on, Biff. You good at this? Heard the tales. At least in the last few months. Dexterity save?
225s. Yeah, it's dexterity
the same
save,
thing.
but it's the same thing.
Okay.
Proficiency, dexterity with the tools.
Okay, and you don't have expertise or anything, right?
Not for the thieves' tools. I just
Okay.
have expertise on
See how that
deception and stealth.
You take out your thieves' tools, and as Fendril holds up the cautious lantern light flickering, you guys hear something come from upstairs. It sounded like a vase shattering.
Shit.
You both like stop and like look at each other. Then everybody kind of like freezes in the like sudden noise. Fendril shakes her head. Dog-footed oafs. Come on, get that door open.
Do we hear anything from inside of this
After
area
a few
at all?
seconds, you don't hear anything. There's like a cautious silence as you wait to see if Anel woke up. But you don't hear anything.
I would open the door a crack and then check to make sure that there's nothing on the inside that would set off like an alarm or something.
Okay. You creak open the door. Make a perception check. Take a look around, but it doesn't look like there's any strange runes or any mechanisms of any sort. You open the door.
Make a hand gesture to Federal that it's good to go.
Right. You head inside and are a bit startled to see a gigantic lobster-like creature standing before you. But it's made out of metal, and it's completely inert. There are several other strange things in this room, as well as a sink just attached to the wall in the corner. I'm gonna have you
It's a
just...
throne.
Yeah, you can investigate it if you'd like. There's 3 main things in this room, as well as several crates and barrels that can be searched through. Alright, what are you looking at?
The throne.
The throne is made out of stone. It looks almost impossible to move, of course. It's got a plush seat, and there are several, like, crystal spheres embedded in the back of the throne's seat. It looks like it's covered in strange arcane runes that are, of course, beyond you being a simple thief.
Yeah, not touching that. Definitely not touching that.
Yeah, Fendril waves her wand over, like, the throne, and she's like, yeah, it's a lot of magic here. It's not what we're looking for. There's another door in this room that you're right next to, as well as a crystal box that's like sitting on a stone plinth. Within the box, yep, right there. Within the box is a purple cushion made out of silk, upon which is a necklace or amulet of sorts, made with jade. It's got like a bunch of beads around the neck, and at the pendant of the necklace is a sort of devil sort of appearance. It's shaped like a devil's face that's like wide open with a wide open mouth.
I want it, but I'm not gonna take it. Yeah, I feel like that crystal box, that all that's alarm. That's like bad news. Although it's real shiny, we're gonna try and get that box first. The tiny one.
All right. There's a bunch of other boxes and stuff here. I'm gonna have you look through those.
Yeah, I can carefully check.
Okay. Make a stealth check. Okay. You're being very quiet. Fendrel is not doing much of the movement. She's just kind of holding the lantern up for you. So make an investigation as you search through all these barrels. You start looking through. There's a lot of like junk in here. Some of it's magical and some of it's not, but it's all just piled in here. It's probably going to take a thorough search to search through these crates.
Does it look like this would be something that the like tiny ornate box would be in?
It could fit in here. You're not sure of the importance of this box. like as to
Okay.
uh, like
Yeah.
does it deserve a museum case or would it be
Right.
thrown in a box? You aren't sure. Do you wish to
Well,
delve further, I guess?
I think I would like to check out the next room to at least make sure that Anel is there and like asleep. And worst comes to worst, I can try and lock this door and prevent him from coming out somehow
Okay.
before I start making noise, at least.
You jiggle the handle, but it appears to be locked. Um, you hear a noise from the other side.
Put my finger up to my mouth.
I think Anel's in there. I'd stay away from that.
I'm gonna jump this out then. Fine, it's gonna force me to go and look through all the barrels carefully and quietly then.
Right. Just be careful. Awake him. Don't wake Anel. Alright. Your stealth check seems to be adequate enough. You are able to carefully start spreading all of these magical things on the floor, seemingly without disturbing anything. You intuit if they were piled in these boxes, they probably aren't harmful to be handled. Make a new investigation check. Fendrel is also going to help you look. With the advantage that Fenril provided.
Oh, okay.
She's helping you look through this time, since you're distributing them out on the floor.
Yeah.
She eventually says, "Ooh, what's that over there?" What? You take out this sack that has a vague box shape to it. You pull it out. It seems to be the box that you're looking for. It's covered in strange filigrees and whatnot. Alright. I think this is what we're looking for. She takes out the scroll to look at them back and forth. It's a sort of crude drawing, but it's serviceable. And it's definitely what you're looking for. Right. Now's free time, Biff. Just be back in a few minutes. We're gonna head out of here pretty soon. Right? Go grab whatever you're looking for. She heads out the next door.
I'm gonna lock the door behind me on this side quietly.
You
And
then
now I'm gonna-
hear a noise as you're locking up the door. You hear a and then you look. There's a balcony towards the second floor, over where Snoz is looking through stuff. And she looks up as a lantern light suddenly is pointing up towards the ceiling. It flickers and then goes out. Vendrell comes up from around the corner and goes, "The hell was that? I thought Whiskers disabled the security." Biff, Snoz, go check what that was. Righto, boss.
I toss the bag for that fancy box to Fendril. Here.
Thanks. You guys head over towards the stairs. Make a stealth check. Okay.
You just can't roll a 1, that's all.
Exactly. I'll get you over there in just a second. I need to arrange some things.
Okay.
There is a second floor, but I didn't know who would be coming with you up there. Okay. Do. So. Okay. I'm gonna drag you over there. Bonk. Right. You head up to the second story of the structure, And for those of you over here, drag you guys over there so you can see.
Yay.
Yay, TV! Alright,
Go
Mao,
up to Shifty. I'm like, the fuck do you do?
you head over to Shifty, and there is a broken vase near him. You head over to him and like grab him on the shoulder. Shifty, what's wrong? And he slumps over onto the ground.
Uh-oh. Is there, like a quick investigation, is there anything that's like, had struck him, like a poison dart or something?
Medicine check.
Singing trap check.
Well, it's going to be a medicine check to figure out what happened to him to cause to be this way. Yeah, it looks like a strong blow to the head. He's unconscious.
Fuck! Where's the other? Snoz, and then the other one was something.
What the fuck happened?
Narples?
Uh,
I don't know. Fucking someone bonked him. I'll take whatever he had on him, and I'm gonna pocket it.
okay, make an investigation check. I'm gonna go look for the rest of them. Narples, are you... You guys, you hear Snoz, gasp from the other side.
Also got an 18 for investigation.
You pocket a small coin purse that was just on his side. It wasn't really kept secret.
Just there.
Yeah, didn't seem he pocketed any magic items. Snoz comes back. Narples is out.
What the fuck?
She points down the aisle,
downstairs.
and you see that Narples, there is a hooded lantern with the light out at her feet, or below her. She is actually tied up and hanging from the rafters. But she appears to be unconscious or dead as well.
I mean, I can see in the dark perfectly fine right now, so...
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody here? I'm gonna look up, I guess.
Look up. Make a perception check.
Oh God.
The fuck is happening?
Hey,
This is
Julian.
awesome, but stressful.
Okay.
Give it lower the mic a little bit.
Alright, I saw your check. I'm just gonna...
The
wait
music's
a
also freaking me out.
Okay. You look up into the rafters. You don't see anything up there, but it is rather dark. The Narples,
Yeah, okay.
as it were, does appear to be tied to the rafters.
Did she say anything about us getting stuck here? Do we just go? Got all this shit.
I don't know.
I mean,
Was Snaz
every man for
downstairs?
himself. Yeah.
Did we get the box and everything?
Yeah.
Hold on. She heads over to the balcony. Hey, Fendril.
Follow.
Fendril, we got what we came for. We're out of here. We're leaving a few people behind, though. Alright, just keep your voice down. Capiche? Just come back down here, bring the weird box thing, and we'll get the hell out. Biff.
But I gave Fendril the box.
Oh, I thought you gave Snoz the box.
No, I said I tossed it to Fendril.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Then she just motions for you to come down. Biff, make a perception check.
No.
You just kind of nod. All right. And then I'm going to have... don't you dare. So, Biff, you... As you nod, you are suddenly struck in the back of the head. And I'm going to have you make a dexterity saving throw. Snoz, as well, is going to make this.
Fuck this shit.
Okay. So you are struck. Schnoz is also struck from behind. As Fendrel, too late, tries to point out, you hear her shout, "Look out!" Before realizing how loud she's being. Schnoz cracks through the balcony and falls down onto the glass case below, shattering it. You also go off the balcony, but you hang on to the side. You have not fallen or taken any damage.
Fuck just hit me.
You were both just hit, and you hear a stomp as two legs appear right before you. You look up, and you see that there is a figure clad in black, with a long black cape and a big pointed tricorn hat. Upon this female figure's face is a sort of Italian mask that looks almost like a raven, and it's painted purely red. She looks down at you and says, "The shopping trip's over, gents. Time to leave. Let's
If
roll
Mao
for
knew
initiative."
love, this would be love. No.
Oh shit, is there an initiative button? Yes, there is.
Yeah, what happened to the initiative button
It's
on the
roll
top?
initiative.
I mean, I just clicked it off the page, so that's fine.
I also need to roll for some other people. Do.
Man, I wish some of you were here with me right now, like
That's
Boom
why
Crash.
I asked.
Uh-huh.
I also need to roll for Shifty. To place them. And I need to roll for... There's one more dude. Snaz. Okay. Alright. Combat tracker's disabled. Alright. Cool. Descending order. Snoz is actually going first. Okay. Snoz gets up from prone. Snaz has run out from where they were on the second floor. Fendrel is covering her face from the shattering of the glass. Snoz kind of gets up and grabs their head. I need to deal damage for them because they did take damage from that fall. It's about a 20-foot drop. She takes 9 damage and goes to not good hit points. These are bandits. She's going to get up and start running away. She says, "Like you said, Biff, every person for themselves." And she's going to run towards the door, taking a dash action. She disappears. Okay. It is Fendrel's turn. She looks up. "Who the hell are you supposed to be? Haven't you read the news?" And Fendrel just snarls and takes out a dagger and flings it up towards her. Ah! She pulls out another one and tosses it. The Red Raven, as it were, smashes one dagger aside, and the other one just flings up and misses. She laughs in the face of this. "Sorry, you'll have to hit better than that." God damn it. "Biff, hang on!" And she's going to...
I got it! No, run! Run away! You got the thing!
"No, Biff, I don't leave minnows behind." And she's going to start
Fuck.
heading over towards the stairs. Right, it's poor Shifty's turn. Shifty, wrong layer, is going to head over to the stairs. It takes them most of their action. Boy, it is very cramped on this screen. Yeah. Okay.
So at this point, you can delete the visual part, the walls.
I can. Do. Snoz. It's not there anymore. Neither are they. Okay. I had duplicates of them for side of the screen.
Gotcha.
Alright. Shifty heads over to you and runs up the stairs. Biff, it's your turn.
Biff's gonna pull himself up, I guess, and then try and attack at the Red Raven's legs at the same time.
All right. I'm gonna have you make an attack roll. Okay. As you go to swipe at her, is this with your scimitar? As you rolled?
It is. Yeah.
All right. You go to swipe at her, but she just parries it out of the way. She uses her reaction to increase her AC against this attack. Nice try, little man. Anything else from you? You're trying to get up. I'm going to have you make an athletics check. You try to pull yourself up, but this enigmatic figure just presses her boot against your head. Not so fast. You're unable to get up. Do you want to drop down?
I'm just gonna drop down.
Alright, make a dexterity saving throw. Alright, you were able to mitigate all of the damage, and you kind of like tumble 10 feet this way, near Snaz. Anything else with your turn, Biff?
Bonus action to hide.
Okay, there are a few places that you can hide, particularly like under the balcony, like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, make a stealth check. Okay, you duck under the balcony and hide amongst the shelves. It's pretty dark down there, and you think you're pretty well hidden. She doesn't seem to be bothered by you, and in fact is, her attention has turned elsewhere. She looks behind her and says, "Oh, more people to attend the doorbuster sale. Guess we can put an end to that." And she's going to take an acrobatic leap over the shelves and onto the other side, and rush towards Shifty as her legendary action. And let's go to Snaz's turn.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not great when you hear legendary action and your party members aren't here.
Yo.
Snaz is going to come near you. He kind of like nods to you as he rushes over to here, towards the staircase. He's underneath the ceiling, and he's gonna rush up to help Shifty. Don't worry, Shifty, I'll be there in a sec. And I think that's all he can do. He was like right here. Yeah, he had to dash to do that. At the end of Snaz's turn, the Red Raven is going to attack Shifty with her rapier. She starts cutting up against him. He whips out a little scimitar and starts clattering against her rapier, but she is just knocking his away left and right. Sorry, you're just not a duelist, are you? And then she cuts off his cape as well as his pants, and they fall to the ground. She then shoves him down the stairs.
Oh, man.
I'm super into this chick.
Right?
I thought the cutting off thing was like, oh no, someone's gonna lose an arm or something. Thank God.
Nope, she dealt non-lethal damage. She knocks him down the stairs, and thanks to her rakish audacity, she knocks him out cold immediately. I'm just gonna delete him. Alright, now for her turn. She stands at the top of the stairs. What's she got going for her? Alright, she is going to leap down the stairs as the poor Shifty is falling, and leap onto Snaz. She's going to do a full attack against him with her rapier.
Okay, well, it's gonna come down to fucking the Red Raven and me. So, just as a heads up, the plan is to sneak around, try and get the box off of fucking Boss Lady, and then leave.
Alright. So, the Red Raven hits with... Does 13 hit these little dudes? It actually does. It's low enough. Or high enough, rather. So she hits with both of these. She can only apply her Rakish Audacity once a turn. It's kind of like a sneak attack. And yeah, Snoz is out cold. She leaps on top of him and just punches him with the bell of her rapier. He knocks unconscious and falls on top of Shifty. The Red Raven is now at the top of the stairs where Fendrel is. I'm going to delete that little bit of dynamic lighting there. We don't really... Whoops, that's a visual effect, not dynamic lighting. There it is. Bonk. I'm also going to get rid of these shelves. We don't need them anymore. Just ignore the random Eldritch Blast that happened. Sorry. So she's at the top of the stairs. Fendrel is at the bottom. She has just seen 2 of her minnows gotten taken out. She kind of backpedals a step, and she says, "No, you go down with the ship too." And she's going to use her last attack to take out her whip.
You get a whip?
She does have a whip. Fendrel.
This is so Princess Bride.
I need to get her character here. She needs to make a strength check.
Yeah, she like disappeared, so I thought she was already down or something.
No, she was underneath the stairs. I was trying to do that. Oh, she actually has +2 to this. So a 16, she is not pulled by the whip, but she does take 6 slashing damage.
Fendrel, give me the box!
She hears you yelling from your hiding spot, which does reveal your position to the Red Raven. She looks back at you and says, "I think you might be right, Biff. This might be a cut in our losses type deal." Meanwhile, the Red Raven finishes with her turn. There is another person whose turn it is before Snoz. As the Red Raven is approaching...
Did Nell wake up?
as approaching Fendrel, suddenly a figure rises up from almost nothing right behind her, and Flick Whisker appears. She's got a dagger in her one hand, and she goes, "Yeah!" And she goes to stab the Red Raven in the back. Let's make that attack. Her short sword. Oof, that doesn't hit her. But she does have a bite as well. The first attack had advantage because of the surprise, but this one didn't. She goes to snap at the Red Raven, but she ducks behind her, and she just gets nothing but cape. She turns towards Flick Whisker and says, "Ooh, another challenger." And then she's going to use a legendary action to attack Flick Whisker.
Just run away. This person is too much.
I'm trying! Chats is like, "Dear Lord, I'm hyperventilating. Run! Get the fuck out!"
I mean, only
I'm just
Biff.
mildly turned on.
I mean...
Get out, but I want to... I'm too terrified to look away.
Mao doesn't understand love, but this is probably what it is, right?
Is this what sex is? Mao
Count me
questions
down
to
and
the air.
Scared and horny.
Yeah.
I don't know which is worse.
Oh lord.
This hits the were-rat, and the Red Raven clatters her short sword away towards the wall with just like her dagger, a sidearm that she has, and then she takes the rapier and then just presses it against her disabled arm. You then hear a hissing sizzle. And the Red Raven goes, I guess it is real silver. Flick Whisker screams as the Red Raven kicks her down onto the stairs with her fellow compatriots. Flick Whisker is going to take 10 damage, and she is not resistant to it because it is a silvered weapon. Snoz's turn. Okay, Snoz. Snoz leaves, because Snoz is at 2 hit points. So they are no longer in the combat. It is Fendrel's turn. She yells at Flick Whisker to get out of there. She is going to... she looks at Biff, and she's going to make a judgment call. Mao, I'm going to have you make a persuasion check, because she needs to figure out if she now trusts you. She looks
It's
at you,
Biff.
thinks to herself, that's Biff, though. And she rushes towards Flick Whisker, and she tries to distract the Red Raven. Fendrel is going to take the dodge action and sort of yell at Flick Whisker, "Yo, rat, fetch!" And she tosses the sack underneath the stairs. Then she's going to take the dodge action against the Red Raven. The Red Raven is going to take a legendary action on the end of Fendrel's turn and say, "It's getting a little too crowded for my tastes." And she's going to pull something off of her belt and slam it against the ground. A cloud of smoke billows out, shrouding the area in darkness. Mist. And she disappears. She's going to use she's going to just cause this smoke cloud to happen. That's all she can do for her legendary action. And Mao, it's your turn.
So she already tossed the bag to Flick Whisker.
She tossed it under the stairs and said, "Hey, rat, fetch."
Biff gonna fetch instead.
All right. You rush over, and Fendrel says, Fendrel can't see you. And actually the area is shrouded in smoke, so I'm going to have you make a investigation check with disadvantage as you fumble around in the dark.
Can I grab my robe of many eyes and kind of like wrap it around me real quick so I can see better?
You produce your robe of eyes from your bag and put it on. The eyes begin blinking closed. They are stung by the fog cloud that has appeared.
Fuck.
What does the robe of eyes do?
I think it just gives advantage on perception checks, and then you can see into like the ethereal plane and something else.
Dark vision, see invisible creatures, advantage on wisdom that relies on sight. Yeah, I'm actually going to rule this kind of like the daylight effect that happens on the robe.
Okay.
You are actually blinded as the robe suddenly shuts its eyes closed. You hear a scream inside of your mind. It can no longer see as the fog stings its eyes. And it's stinging your eyes as well. It seems to be some sort of like pepper gas or powder.
Damn it.
So you can make this perception check, or investigation check.
Breathe in deep.
But it's still going to be at disadvantage, and I'm also going to increase the DC. It's an investigation check.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
You start fumbling around on the ground. It's probably best to take off the robe of eyes if you want to be able to see again.
Yeah. I guess I'll use my bonus action to take it off, so that way I'm not caught off guard.
I'll say that you can do that. So you whip off the robe and like toss it like over your shoulder or something. You're still coughing and spitting in the fog cloud, but you can't find where the sack has been laid. And is that it for your turn?
Yeah.
Right. You hear a stomp from behind you, and hear, "Oh, it looks like we found a snake in the grass." And right behind you appears the Red Raven taking an acrobatic maneuver to get out of that little fight there.
Oh, damn.
That was a legendary action on her turn. Let's bring this downstairs, just because pretty much everybody is downstairs now.
Everyone's falling down.
Try and keep you in the same orientation. There we go. Right, you are now... Lights aren't working? Oh no, the lights are fine. Okay, so yeah, you're there, and it is now the Red Raven's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Her rakish audacity is going to work because of the way Fendrel is on the stairs above her and can't see her. The Red Raven also seems to be able to see fine in this sort of mist.
Amen.
She starts engaging you with her rapier. You have your scimitar out, but you aren't able to parry her first blow. You do uncannily dodge away from her, though, as she goes to blow. She swipes at your sword, and she goes to, like, slam your head against the wall, but you manage to duck out of the way. You take half damage. So that's 36. You take 18. Oh, it seems like we have a professional on our hands. She strikes again with her rapier, not applying the secondary damage. Another hit. You take 10 piercing. And then she's going to use her whip after moving around you and kind of like stepping away, provoking an attack of opportunity from you should you wish to take it. Oh, you've already used your reaction.
We've already used a reaction.
Yeah. She's going to go over onto this side and use her whip. That's going to hit and deal 5 slashing damage. Then I'm going to need a strength save.
Is she trying to pull me away?
Mm-hmm.
Strength is like the worst.
So as you tumble out of the way, and she kind of like acrobatically leaps over you onto the other side and follows through with her whip.
Show off.
It slams into you, and she pulls you towards her as you are bound up by the whip. You are knocked prone and pulled 5 feet towards her. Meanwhile, that is her turn. Well, it's not. She can take another action. But she won't. That's fine. So it's Flick Whisker's turn. Fendrel yells, "Whiskers, go get the puzzle box! Meet at the stink house! Go!" And Flick Whisker is going to leap off the side while turning into a rat, and she starts sniffing around the area. The fog cloud has finally dissipated at the end of the Red Raven's turn, and she's going to still need to make a perception check to find it. She has +2 to this. 12. Not enough. She can't find it. It's buried within a bunch of other goods and stuff. But she is now in her rat form looking around for it. That's going to be her. It's Fendrel's turn. Fendrel's going to go down the stairs and head over to you, Biff. She's going to just go around you and try and engage the Raven. Let go of my boys! Ooh. That's gonna hit. The Red Raven is going to forego her reaction. She seems to be readying herself, wary of this dangerous person that she has on the ground in front of her. She's gonna take that damage. 7. Bonk. She seems to be barely intimidated by this action.
Bonk, yeah.
But it looks like she's hit again.
Wow, nice.
There it is. Unfortunately, Fendrel's not the hardest hitter. She is the group of a gang, the leader of a gang called the Minnows, after all. Okay, the end of Fendrel's turn. The Raven is going to leap up onto the wall with her whip in hand and leap over a downstairs rafter and pull. And Mao, you are trapped. She's using her trap legendary action, which takes 2 actions. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw. She's trying to restrain you.
Well,
Place.
she can do that. Should be fine.
Why'd you say that,
Not.
dude? That does not succeed. You are dragged up into the air just the same way that Narples was, but this uses up her whip. You would need to try and escape on your turn if you want to escape, but otherwise you are restrained. Raven's done. Mal, Biff, it is your turn.
Can I try and get out?
Yes. Oh, I actually forgot. At this point in the initiative, I should have done this before Fendrel's turn. It's getting a little too wrapped up. You hear a door open. What's all this racket? This... Good gods! Thieves! I'm being robbed! Enel is awake, in his pajamas, which are very, Christmas Carol Scrooge pajamas, which are a little too big for him. He is shouting...
Nightcap?
Yeah, he's got a nightcap. He's even got a little, like, candle in a holder. And he throws his hands up, tossing the candle down, and he goes running for the exit. Now, Mao, it's your turn. You can use an action to try and escape, but the Red Raven is within hitting distance of you if you want to try and attack her.
No, but can I use darkness while I escape?
That requires an action to cast, and I think you need somatic components. Well, I said
gonna look
said
quick.
that you're restrained. I didn't say you couldn't cast spells. But yeah, you would need an action.
Verbal and material.
Well, oh, so it doesn't even need it anyway. I was gonna let you do it anyway, but yeah, you can cast darkness.
Yeah, so cast darkness first to try and slip out and
You-
get away.
You
So that
unfortunately
way,
still
if
need
he
an
does try-
action to try and get out.
So you need to do it till next turn.
Yeah. But you do cast darkness in a 20-foot radius. You can draw that if you'd like and center it where you wish. I'm going to continue with the turns. The Red Raven. Please let me have the... There we go. Okay, that's good. So, you cast darkness. Fendrel goes, "What in the hell's is going on?" "Oh, nothing that concerns you," says the Red Raven. And she is going to just back away from you, and is going to toss a dagger at Fendrel. We'll use the rapier button, though. I didn't program a dagger button, because I'm stupid. Okay, -1. 11 doesn't hit her. She tosses the dagger in the darkness, but it lands roughly where Fendrel was, and it twangs on the wooden shelves behind her. It is... Well, that was her legendary action, but it's now the Red Raven's turn. She is going to lunge towards Fendrel now. Now that she's a bit distracted. She seems perfectly able to see in this darkness. Yeah, fucking deed, Allie from the other room. Time for attacks. She only has 2 attacks this time. And also, she does not apply her Rakish Audacity because there are 2 of you near her. She prefers to work alone. Okay. That's going to be 12 damage to them, and it's 25 damage. She leaps towards Fendrel and makes 2 great blows towards her. She is not looking too hot. It is Flickwhisker's turn. Oh, actually, the Red Raven's going to use a bonus action to disengage as well, and go out around here. Flickwhisker is going to look for the thing, the MacGuffin. Perception. Okay. Thanks to her advantage from her keen smell, she's able to sniff out Fendrel's scent on the sack. She goes inside and grabs the puzzle box in her rat form, and then starts scurrying off past Enel's feet. You hear a shriek in the darkness, and you hear, "Ah, a rat! Holy shit, that's a huge one!" And Flickwhisker starts heading towards a hole in the wall of Enel's oddities that she used to get in, and she escapes.
Hell yeah.
At the end of that turn, the Red Raven is going to use a legendary action to leap out from around the side. She's looking for Flickwhisker, but she can't seem to find where she went. She's going to make a perception check, though. It looks like she's spotted where she went, but she can't get to her because she just went through the wall, essentially. Okay, she's done. It's Fendrel's turn. She backs out of the darkness, and she sees you, like, hanging there. I'm gonna have her make an insight check against your deception, Mao. Biff, did you do that?
Well, wasn't me.
That was close. Must have been her.
I mean, you could have, but Biff ain't that smart.
Ooh, it must have been the Raven gal, because she's been, like, hiding and shit.
That bitch has magic. We gotta get the hell out of here. Flickwhisker's got the thing. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Hold me down!
She
Get me down!
takes out her dagger and then she cuts you down. You are no longer restrained. You land on the ground.
Time to run.
She's going to rush over here. Enel should have actually gone now, so Enel is going to run the heck away. His feet can't carry him that far. But Fendrel is going to make a beeline for the exit. Let's get the ruler out. Yeah, it's 30 feet. She's already taken an action. So she's like, here. Okay, at the end of this turn, I don't think the Red Raven has any... I think she's had a turn. She has one action left. She is going to try and move towards... Now she's just going to try and dispatch you guys. She flips over the table and gets in Fendrel's way. But that is the end of her turn. Mao, it's your turn.
I'm gonna run up the stairs and I'm gonna dive through a window.
Okay. So carry out the move.
So I guess I can get toward, like, using a bonus action to dash.
There's
to get
also
up to the
windows
window.
on this side.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I'll take you over there. I just needed to know how many moves it took you to get up the stairs. I'm still dragging you over here. So here's you at the top of the stairs.
So it's 40 to get all the way up the stairs.
Okay.
Oh, this is 30. I can make it just to the window.
Okay. You make it
And
just
jump
to the
through.
window using your bonus action to dash and kind of cross your arms over your chest and leap out through the window with a shattering of glass. You land on the pavement. Make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, it's not perfect. It's only a 20-foot drop. You're gonna take half damage. So, like 5. Okay, that's your turn. It's now the Red Raven's turn. She heads over to Fendrel, and she is going to start using that rapier of hers. All alone, I see. Looks like your crew's abandoned you. And that is not going to hit her. Fendrel is holding true. But another rapier attack later, and this one is a hit. And thanks to her rakish audacity, it's 31 damage. Vendrell is now at 3 health.
Oof.
Sorry, minnows. Looks like you're all going to jail. And it's Flickwhisker's turn. You see Flickwhisker heading with the puzzle box. She leaps into a storm drain out of sight. And that is her turn. The end of Flickwhisker's turn. The Red Raven is going to try and knock out Fendrell. Is a 13 enough for her? She's a bandit captain. It is not. Fendrell grabs the Red Raven as she goes to try and knock her out, but she stands true. Fendrell is going to try and disengage. She heard the glass breaking upstairs, and she's going to try and push away the Raven, saying, "You better go after the other ones. They're a lot stronger than I am, and they got a lot more information that you'd like to hear." She's trying to bluff the Red Raven to save her crew and her skin. Ooh. Probably actually gonna have to try and compete against that. Insight. The Red Raven, looks at Fendrell, then looks upstairs and, looks at where the rat went that was carrying that strange box. And Fendrell disengages, rushing towards the door. The Red Raven, at this point, can't make an attack of opportunity against her, but she can take a legendary action, but she's out of daggers. She decides to go upstairs. She uses her cunning action to get all the way to the top. And Biff, you see the Red Raven looking out the window, staring at you. She leaps down to the ground and takes a tumble onto the pavement, her cloak wisping behind her. She draws her rapier and says, "Not today, minnow. You're going back where you came from." And she starts stepping towards you carefully. Mao, it's your turn.
Let's run.
I'm just running. Yeah, I'm just gonna disengage and run like a bat out of hell. And I think Mao's probably in love.
He's going to try and pursue you, of course. As you're running away, you see Fendrell running off in a different direction. Flickwhisker is now gone with the box, and most of the other people have been knocked unconscious. Enel is at the front of his shop yelling, "Thieves! Thieves! Someone please help! Get the leaf crown!" And you see a few guardsmen coming from further away down the street. They're each bearing torches.
Up.
I'm going to have you make a acrobatics check.
Now that's throwing her a bone.
Stop jinxing me.
Fuck. You go and try and start leaping over alleyway intervals and climbing up buildings, trying to scramble away from the Red Raven, but she is keeping up with you step for step. I'm gonna have you try and make a stealth check now. But first she's going to make one attack against you. That misses. She takes her whip, and it slams into a chimney, smashing it into pieces as she pulls it towards her. "Get back here, Vintner scum!" Now you can make a stealth check or an acrobatics check, whichever you are more comfortable with, as you try and escape from the Raven.
Can I take out the immovable rod,
Ooh.
and as I'm running, click it behind me to get advantage on an acrobatics check to try and get away?
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check. Natural 20.
Yes.
You head over towards the edge of a roof. The Red Raven has her rapier drawn and up to your chin, she's still like 5 feet away from you, taking a few steps towards you over the roof tiles. She says, "End of the line, Vintner. Surrender now, and the authorities will be kind to you." You like backpedal a little as a tile like slips beneath your feet, and you just kind of look at her. What do you say?
Look, I like playing this game, but I ain't got time right now for your funky little things going on. And I click,
You
try and
you
duck down
leap
and run away.
over the side, and she lunges after you. But as you are falling, you clicked the immovable rod and fell down to the pavement below, tumbling down. You see the Red Raven jump after you, but suddenly,
Fucking clotheslined.
you clothesline her on the immovable rod. She slips and falls off of it. She goes to grab something, but there's nothing there. The rod was too small for her to grab, and she plummets down towards a bunch of barrels and crates and smashes through them. You start laughing as you like run off.
Kind of make note of where that is so I can potentially go and retrieve it if it's still floating in the air by the time days go past.
Okay. Make an acrobatics check. Well, you already did a sleight of hand check. Make a stealth check now to escape her. Okay. So you are able to finally evade her. You have ducked into an alleyway, several alleyways in fact, and then found your way into a barrel that happened to be empty. You like peer out of it and you see her pass by you. As the guards start coming, you hear one of them go, "Look! It's the Raven! Get her!" And then she like looks like down the alleyway where you are for a second, but then she moves on, and then leaps up towards the rooftops, and the cloak is the last thing you see of her as she ducks behind a chimney. The guards then pass you by as well. That's the end of this encounter.
Oh, thank God.
I know that was very long. I hope that you all were entertained enough since you weren't having
Well,
to.
Batwoman.
Stories. Also, yeah, no, seriously, if Mao doesn't know what love is, but that looked like love.
I don't know. It seems like codependence to me.
I mean, that's Batman and Catwoman there. So
Hell yeah.
All right. Well.
Mal's gonna take more thieving jobs just to try and run into it again.
Oh God, no. This
into it.
truly is codependence.
So I think we've had enough of Mao for now.
Thank you. I can go rest in pee now.
You're used to being able to just pee whenever you want, huh? Gotta break you of that. Okay, let's go to say Boom Crash.
Okay.
So Boom Crash, you are still working on your assignments. The work is starting to drain on you as you're making hide and hair, whatever the phrase is, of these arcane runes and stuff. Eventually, crap, what was her name?
Emmeline?
Emmeline,
like
yes. I added the Nerul person, but I never added Emmeline to my list of NPCs. I have like a living Excel document.
Awesome.
Anywho, Emmeline eventually is running into a lot of problems with you. She's finding that you don't understand a lot of core concepts that she assumed that you would be able to use or know with telekinesis, and eventually she starts getting frustrated and just gives you some assignments to make you go away. Eventually you decide perhaps you should find some help of your own.
Far.
What did you say? Phaedlar?
Phaedlar? Yeah.
Okay.
He's my study buddy.
So,
It's either that or Bug Egrenor, which he seemed busy.
yeah, he did seem busy. So, let's go to Phaedlar. I believe he is an evocation wizard?
Yes.
Yes, he is an evoker. So you head try and find Phalar throughout the Arcane College. Eventually, you run into them. They were mid-class, but you kind of like wait until after the class ends, and they come out to see you. Hey, Boomcrash, I haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, yeah, I just got back from my trip. How have you been? And how did work for, you know who, our mutual friend, go?
Ugh. Man, the Leaf Crown was killing me. I have so much to catch up on here at the college. I'm very busy right now.
Oh, okay, so now's not a good time to bug you for help. Is there someone else who would be friendly and able to help me with this 5th level teleportation spell?
5th level? Jeez, that's a little beyond me, even. And I'm just an evoker. Ugh. Well, I mean, I can ask around, but I've got to go. I'm late for my next class. They run
Yeah,
into
of
each
course.
other. We'll have to
It was
catch
good
up
to see you.
sometime.
Yeah, next drink is on me, okay?
All right. He waves at you as he rushes down the hallway. So, Boomcrash, you're running through your mind, but there's one other person who might be able to help you.
Yes. My pretty lady friend?
Perhaps.
Okay,
She
I'll go
comes to
and
the
visit
forefront
her.
of your mind.
I'll go and bug Juliana then.
All right. Taking a breather from the arcane seat and all of their stuffy magic stuff, the prestigious College of Arcane Arts, you head over to Juliana's apartment. Do do do, do do do, do do do. You knock on the door, and Juliana is home. Oh, Boomcrash. Hi, how's it going?
Um, doing okay, but I was hoping to get your help with something. No flour this time, but I'll make up for it next time, I promise.
That's quite
How's
all
your
right.
day?
I look forward to this. I did say I'd be able to help you.
Awesome. Okay, well, you know what, Purse Dog was doing in the Underdark? I got a pretty good look at it, and I'm trying to figure out how to cast it and figure it out for myself, but I'm definitely kind of stuck. I don't have the same understanding of the basics that you do. So if you could help me out a little bit, that would be great.
Oh,
If you have
sure.
time.
If it's basics, yeah, I can definitely help you out with the core concepts, at least, that the college was able to teach me. Sure, come on in. I'll get us some tea going again.
Thank you.
And make an Arcana check with advantage from Juliana.
Hey, girlfriend. Best girlfriend.
I'm sorry, I may have moved your character.
That is okay.
Ooh. Yeah, Juliana is able to help you out a whole bunch. The other teachers that you've spoken to were very broad and had, like I said, a lot of understanding, like, oh, you know what chiaroscuro is, so I can just say that word and you know what it means. But Juliana is able to take you through at more your own pace, able to understand your unique situation. And you're able to get a success as you're going along in this. I'm going to have you make your further checks for the rest of the week as you go back and forth, eventually meeting up with Phalar, Juliana, and Emmeline. And let's do this sort of skill challenge that you got going on.
Okay, so another Arcana check?
Yeah. We'll assume that most of your time is spent with Juliana trying to learn the basics of this spell. You've met another success in your training. You're starting to learn the basics of the sigils very well. Now it's more about learning how to channel magic into those sigils and bring them to life and draw in the conjuration magic that they need. Make a new Arcana check.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
Okay. This one, you're having a bit of trouble with this. The drawing in of force energy, like raw magic, is very easy for you, but narrowing it into one school of magic is something that you're just not used to. You're used to the power just coming to you. This is considered a fail. Make
Okay.
one more Arcana check. You're at 2 fails, 2 successes.
Nope.
Unfortunately, you're not making much progress with this spell. This week you aren't able to fully get the spell. This won't incur any further costs, but it's going to take you a bit more time to get the grips of it.
That's
Juliana
totally fair.
is she's been spending a lot of time with you. There's papers all over her place, and lots of like test sheets strewn about on the ground. She says maybe we should just. It's been a while, but maybe we should go back to the college next week and see if we can find some books on how to do this.
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much for all of your help. It really made a huge difference. It was
Of
good to
course.
see you and Giblet again.
Anytime. Say, do you I don't know if you're into this sort of thing, but did you want to maybe hang out this weekend? There's a play going on, or a concert rather. And I was
Yeah?
planning on going, but if you
Yes?
wanted to join,
Yes?
oh, okay. Cool.
What time and
Aw.
where should I meet you?
I guess it's happening this weekend. It's at nightfall at the Odium.
Okay. I guess, do you want me to walk you there, or do you want to meet there?
We can meet there. I'm fine. I've got Giblet, and she nuzzles the bat familiar that she has, who guides her sight. He's been on her shoulder the whole time.
Yeah.
Obvi.
She lost the hint.
that's okay. This is the date. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You too. I mean, me too. Bye. See you then.
Bye. I
Uh,
sort of
you close
skip
the door.
off.
You close the door behind her, behind you, as you leave. You hear sort of a sigh on the other side, as you leave.
I'm doing a victory dance. I hope it's a happy side that I'm doing a victory dance.
Make a performance check.
think
Do I
that
have to make a performance check?
Well, that's only if you want to.
Okay, let's see how badly this goes.
It was an average performance.
It's not like a bard tier performance, but it's you kind of like walk out of Juliana's apartment and you like start finger gunsing people like to your left and right, and then start doing like the fist rolling thing in front of your chest in both directions.
So Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire dance.
It's literally the Tobey Maguire dance. Thank you for picking up what I was putting down.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, that's about her tier.
Amon, Zumasu, do either of you have something that you want to take care of immediately? I know we don't have much time left tonight, and I know that we didn't do a ton with you guys. We had to do a cinematic cutscene.
Okay, just a quick question. The college library, is it like open access or is it not open access?
It's open access, but there is a restricted section that is only available to senior years.
Yeah, I can teleport in there. I'm sure nothing bad could happen. Possibly happen.
Battle happens when there's a bunch of mages close by.
Go
Yeah.
apparating on campus.
Anyway, so I'm gonna head to the library. We can do that thing later, but that's just part of my research. So we can move on to something else.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
At least
I
know
was
that.
going to be disguised as Spent and go hit up Peggy about how the printing press is working.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. So you're gonna go to Peggy's, which is actually quite near Juliana's place. Yeah. I do need to move you to the side because I've accidentally placed you on top of her. There she is. Good old Peggy. Alright. You go into Spent mode, which it is your same appearance, because you didn't like have a disguise while you were traveling in the Underdark, but your name was Spence.
Nothing. The only difference might have just really been hair color and armor style. That was
Yeah,
maybe like
because
the
your
thing
armor
I put
wasn't.
effort to.
So you can disguise your armor to maybe not look as good, look salvaged instead of pristine.
And I guess I dyed my hair back to the color it was.
Yeah, with disguise self. I know you have
Yeah.
that, so we won't
Slight
bother with that.
differences, but they can make a difference, you know.
Yeah. So, you head to Peggy's Tinkery, which she's still trying to get opened up. But... Okay. Oh, hey, Spen. How's it going?
Pretty good. Looks like you're getting something underway here.
Oh, yeah,
was
I
just
got lots of
kinda-
plans. And she, like, gestures to a broad wall filled with blueprints. And then she kind of, like, puts her hand behind her head. I haven't really gotten to the whole setting up the shop yet. It's been more wishful dreams, but I'm planning on getting in contact with a guild or something that can get that sort of thing set up for me.
Sounds good. I was kind of checking up on if you had any time to tinker with the printing press thing.
Oh, yeah, come here. And she goes into a back room, and she pulls out this sort of rudimentary skeleton of a printing press, but she's got a bunch of like post-it notes kind of stapled all over it, and she starts explaining in nerd speak how the magic works. Once she sees the confusion on your face, she says, well, okay, so I can make
Sorry, I
you...
don't get runes at all.
Smiling and nodding, finger across chin. Um,
Pseudo rune what?
So, she says to you, so, I can make you a regular printing press for about 100 gold pieces. It's not particularly complicated, but I can get you a magic one that can work 10 times as efficiently. It's just the materials are kind of pricey, so that'll probably cost you 10 times the amount. But yeah, I can get you a printing press, like, probably by the end of the week.
That would be wonderful. So you said 10 gold pieces for a normal one times 10. So
No,
that'd be 10
100
flat.
gold pieces for a regular one.
Oh, okay.
It's a complicated machine, and it's got a lot of different little parts. I got to make all those little, like, what are they called? The letter blocks.
Understandable.
But if you want the better one that's 10 times more efficient, that's 1,000 gold pieces. Basically, what this will let you do, the narrator says, the normal printing press will let you spread rumors in half the time, while the other one does so in a minimum or a maximum of 3 days, and it also will have a much greater effect, and that's sort of to the discretion of me, the DM.
Like maybe there's some Harry Potter animated stuff on the paper?
Well, yeah, there will probably be that sort of thing in a magical printing press, but in a normal one, you'll also only be able to make so many zines, as it were. So, yeah, you'll be able to distribute like 100 of them, and they'll probably pass around, but when you get a magic one, you'll be able to distribute like 1,000 of them. And suddenly it's like a plague of locusts rather than a fly in the house.
Okay, so good. Okay, yeah, that'd be fine. Can I give you half now and half on completion?
Sure, anything for you, Spent.
Alright, you said 100, so that's 50 platinum pieces then now, and I'll give you the other 50 on completion.
Oh yeah, for the
Okay.
magic one, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the magic one. I mean, I understand the normal one would be nice, but I have some plans for a printing press.
Okay.
Especially one that made sound so efficient.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be very efficient. So, tell you what, this magic one, it's going to take like 40 days for me to make it, just because of the complications. But the other one, it'll take me only about 4 days to make. Do you want that one in the meantime?
Could I get a slight... I really do appreciate it. Would I be able to maybe get a slight discount since I'm buying both of them, essentially? Like, I guess this would be a...
Make a persuasion check, yeah. She's a shopkeeper now.
Yeah, since I am paying ahead of time, kind of, and buying the other one.
You know, for you, we spent a lot of time together, and since you're buying the bigger one and helping me with this stuff, I'll give you the other one for free. Call that
Alright.
my down payment.
Okay, I'll give you an extra 5 plat to help you set up shop ahead of time then.
Gee, thanks, Spence. Really helping me out here.
So I owe her 45 platinum pieces then.
Alright, she waves you out of her shop so she can get started on this. You're now commissioning a printing press, which hopefully Richie Dallas will be able to get his little fingers on in the meantime.
I can also use it to advertise things.
And advertise the winery. It's peculiar. Every propaganda magazine comes with an advertisement for the Galestone Winery. There's a thing on the back that says if you send in 42 box tops, you get a free bottle of wine. Anywho.
There's no drinking age here, it's fine.
Exactly. So, Mao, you are able to get away from the Red Raven.
Oh yeah.
You presumably are going to go back to Biff's apartment and chill.
Yep.
You don't hear anything from Fendrel in the next day. It seems like she must be laying low, or potentially got caught. You're not sure what happened. There's been no hide nor hair nor snout of Lick Whisker anywhere. But you didn't really know where she lived anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do in the remainder of this week?
I mean, I might kind of lay low a little bit too, but also, you know, again, every morning try and check in with the group, so I might look a little bit worse for wear this time.
Did you get the immovable rod back?
Oh, I need to go and find that again. Yeah. So that
Guess
would
that'd
be...
a few rolls for that.
I'm gonna make a roll because I'm not sure if the guards would have found it or not.
Or if it's just high up enough that no one pays attention to it besides a random floating pigeon or something.
Like, there's a weird clipping error in the sky over there. Oh well.
Yeah.
This is a Bethesda game, that's normal.
Why are those pigeons sitting in the air?
So you head back to the same place. You're sort of looking around the area.
Yeah, I'd be very cautious in case, like, someone's watching or keeping tabs on this area, or where the movable rod was.
There's a lot of Leaf Crown guards near Enel's shop. You are, of course, not in the guise of Biff, so you don't really have any worries with this. But they are going around asking people. You see Enel, he's like worried on the front steps, and he's like explaining things to one of the Leaf Crown guards. But you're out of earshot. Excuse me. Do you continue heading towards where you left the rod?
Is there like a back way of kind of getting to it? Like,
No,
not
there's
a
no
very
problem.
direct
It's
route?
more like, do you want to listen
Okay.
in on Enel or not?
No, I don't want to listen in on it now. I think I know what happened.
Okay. I mean, I figured. So you're gonna head over to where the immovable rod is. It looks like there are a few Leaf Crown guards around there, sort of looking over the trash that's like strewn out in the alleyway and amid the smashed barrels and whatnot where the Red Raven landed. One of the Leaf Crown guards is like interviewing the residents that are living in the building. You glance up looking for the immovable rod, but it's not there anymore. You hurriedly move on.
Keep on moving. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
The weekend is here. Boom Crash. It's time for that date.
Can I buy 2 flowers? Pretty ones or fragrant ones?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Buy those flowers.
They're like enchanted with prestidigitation, so they constantly sparkle.
You know, I don't want to be leading, but there is a item that you are aware of called the Staff of Flowers. It's housed at Enel's Oddities.
Okay, yes, but do they disappear? Are they constructs like the cat?
I believe the staff like creates flowers where it touches. Actually, don't
It'll
know.
probably just die on its own.
I think they're just flowers, but I think they're real.
If I assumed that they were constructs like the cats and they would disappear after 24 hours, so that's why I didn't go for that.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty neat. How much does that cost?
Well, you head to Anel's Oddities. There's a lot of police out front.
You do a 180 and then just walk right back out.
But this time Boom Crash didn't try
But
and
it's
kill
not
him
my
with
fault, and
Yeah,
I have no
exactly.
idea what happened. So
180 and walk right back out.
nope, I'm not guilty. So fuck this shit.
Yeah, it's not like it's a vampire mask trying to murder him again.
I sort
The
of
number of
like,
times you guys have fucked with Anel is like very high.
Yeah.
Hey, I
He's
think
still our friend, right? Like he still
actually,
likes
I have
us
done
though.
nothing. Like even among my multiple characters, I've done nothing to screw over Nell.
That's
He
true.
doesn't care.
True.
He's just a poor shopkeep in the Gate District. Anywho, the police are just leaving. You head to Anel's Oddities and head inside. Looks like the shop is open once more, and it's looking a little rough. It looks like there's the front desk is no longer there. There's several boxes that have been used to house all of the items that are within it. He looks up to you and goes, "Hello, sorry, I'm quite busy still trying to clean up
No.
from the event a few days ago."
Are you okay? Should I come back another time?
Yeah, no, this is fine. I'm very lucky that I wasn't hurt in the ordeal. Some thieves broke into my, establishment. I'm not sure how they got past everything. But, yes, it's the darndest thing. I guess there was a fight, and, that Red Raven from the newspapers, she showed up, and I think she was trying to help me. The Leaf Crown won't have it, though. They said that she was probably an accomplice.
Interesting. I would have assumed that she would have been part of the crime thing. Wow. I don't know. But I'm glad that you're okay, and I'm glad that it wasn't worse, I suppose.
Well, much appreciated. Say, you don't have a mask for that snout, do you? No, you're not tall enough. Sorry, just a little jumpy. What are you here for?
The staff of flowers.
Oh, yes, it makes real flowers. It's just 15 gold pieces. Yes, it's got 10 charges on it, recharge every morning, and you can just touch it to a spot and it grows a flower. Any type you can imagine.
That's amazing. Perfect. Thank you. Can I take it now?
Sure. 15 gold pieces. Just be warned that flowers look real, but they don't have any medical properties of whatever flower you summon.
Do they have smell? Do they smell nice?
Oh, I'd imagine so. Yes, this one smells nice. He summons a
Okay.
flower, like, on the floor. It just grows out of the floorboard.
Aw.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll take it.
Sure, take this
Here you
rose,
go.
too.
Thank you.
I don't need it in my floorboards. Thank you, little Kenku. Run along, I have a few customers to attend to and make sure they don't steal anything. Ugh.
Okay. Good luck, Anel. You seem very... Bad luck seems to follow you.
It's not been a
you
good
know-
year for me.
Good luck charm? I got it in a village outside of...
Oh no.
Yep,
Oh no.
Is this the Bogle village?
Yeah,
it's the Boggle
yeah.
charm.
Oh my god.
Okay. A good luck charm, you say?
Yeah, it's the village that it's I forget the name, but
It's Keever's Bale.
Keever's Vale. It's a interesting, quirky little place. I'm hoping to go back soon, but there was a
With
vendor
fire.
selling good luck charms, and I bought a bunch for me and my friends. And here's mine.
Oh,
Maybe it'll help.
is this complimentary?
Yeah, it's a gift.
Oh.
If that's okay.
Well, I hope it brings me good luck. And he ties the good luck charm around his neck. What was the charm exactly?
Hold on, I had it written down.
That's okay.
I think it was a rabbit's foot.
Okay, that's fair.
That sounds right.
He ties the rabbit's foot around his neck, and he rushes off to greet a customer. Thanks again, Miss Kenku. He trips on a floorboard, but he gets up and says, hopefully it starts working soon. And he runs off.
I hope so too. Okay, and I take the
Why
rod
why
and I
have
take
you
the
put
flowers.
this man into a death sentence? What's wrong with you?
Because it's funny.
Because it's funny, guys.
We do it for the lulls.
Okay. You head off to the Odium, still with plenty of time. The Leaf Crown is dispersing again. They were just there for a routine check on the place. It looks like there's still a few people posted there as well. Extra guard on the...
Oh yeah, I know I've been kind of dicking about, but would I have heard of this through basic, like, stopping in to just check in on my paperwork?
No, yeah, you're aware that there was a robbery at Anel's Oddities, and we will get to that soon.
Okay, shit.
Well, we will probably get to that next time, but,
Oh,
I would say,
No,
like,
that's fair.
do we have time to go over today, or is people busy? Like, is that
lilacs.
an option?
I'm fine with a little bit over.
yeah, I mean, I'm fine with a bit over.
Me too.
Okay.
But it depends.
All of a sudden you're fine, huh? Despite complaining that you got held back last night. Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, let's get this going.
So, Boom Crash, you head to the Odium for your date, Juliana. It is a nice night. Stars are shining. And you find Juliana waiting under a sort of lamppost. She sees you coming from Giblet and says, "Oh, Boom Crash, you're here. I was beginning to
Oh.
worry."
I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long. Here you go.
For me? Do you
Yeah,
hand her the
of
staff or like a bunch of flowers made by the staff?
I give her a bunch of flowers made by the staff.
Okay. It's a variety of flowers, and she sniffs them. These are beautiful. Thank you. I wish I could see their beautiful colors, but you know, and she points to her
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, well, I sort of prioritized nice smells over prettiness, so it's not the most beautiful bouquet, but I mean,
They
beauty
do
is
look a
eye
bit
of the beholder.
haphazard, but thank you. Come on, let's get
Sure.
good seats.
Yeah.
And she rushes you into the Odium. It's not particularly crowded for the size of it. It was probably a lot more popular way back when it was built, but now it seems to be just a weekend sort of turnout at this sort of big amphitheater concert hall. You head up the stairs and find a good seat, fairly close. I like that little move there, like, oh, I gotta be sitting inside of it.
I gotta be next to the pretty girl.
You guys sit down and get some, like, alcohol, which is permitted here.
Yes.
And you start...
Except I don't partake because I made an ass of myself last time.
That's true. You, like, take a sip and then, like, glance at Juliana and, like, kind of put it down, like, daintily with your finger up, just like, oh yes, I've just a small sip. Juliana is, she is getting a little nervous and she's, like, kind of patting her knees, and then she eventually gets talking. She starts talking about the play, like, before it starts. She's very excited to hear this new play. Apparently she's seen works by the author before. Sorry, I keep saying play, it's a concert. But it does tell a story.
Oh, okay.
It does
So
tell
it's
a
like a
story.
symphony.
Yeah, it's a symphony. It's by Iocaste Daliano. He's the composer. Their last work wasn't really as tragic as this one's supposed to be, but from what I've seen in the playbill, and she, like, hands it to you, I got one for me. And she like gestures to the braille on one of them, and she starts telling you about this whole story, and before she like gets too far into it, she's like trying to stay away from spoilers. The concert begins, and the lights all drift globes like in the stadium. They all dim as the concert begins. It's several different instruments led by this conductor, and they're like swishing their arms back and forth. And throughout the concert, boom, crash. Juliana is like whispering to you, like telling you about what these songs are supposed to mean and whatnot. Um, the concert, as you read the playbill, is called "The Kiss of the Lamia," and it's about a prince. This is where he gets
Wait,
banished.
why is that for?
What?
Oh, Kiss of the Llama? Where have I heard that before?
Lamia?
Oh, I heard Kiss of the Llama, and I was like, wait, what
A
the
llama?
fuck?
He's
Emperor
supposed to be
Zuko.
dead. Yeah, it's not supposed to be like that. All right.
A lonely
Wrong.
alpaca
Okay, that was
farmer.
it. That was a good aside. Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
It's fine. It was a good aside. I liked it. Um, this is the part where the prince gets banished to the desert, um, and then as he's wandering it, this this lamia, a creature half lion, half person, devilishly charming supposedly, uh, finds him, invites him to her lair, and then charms him, showering him in treasures and magic gifts as he's used to as a prince. And then she has him return to conquer his kingdom that cast him out. But suddenly, when the charm finally wears off, after he's destroyed everyone that he once loved, he realizes his mistake, the evil that he's wrought. And instead of facing the consequences of what he's done, he takes his own life rather than face it. It's very tragic. His last stuff didn't have nearly as much as this stuff, and she's just nerding out over this whole thing.
That's adorable.
It's kind of like a soap opera for her, if there were soap operas in this universe. Um, but yeah, she's like, oh yeah, it
Damn
really
you,
brings up
Bill.
the emotions that take place in his work, and I think it's a really good direction for him. One person finally like shushes her from like over her shoulder.
I glower at them.
Damn you,
Make an
Bill
intimidation check.
Shakesman.
Um, you guys enjoy the rest of the night. Um,
Mhm.
at one point, as you're like reaching for your wine, you accidentally reach for the wrong one, and Juliana kind of like brushes against your hand. I'm gonna have you make a charisma check.
Oh, okay.
Deal with
Uh,
this, you fool.
I put myself in this situation. Hey!
As you touch hands, you lock eyes with her, and Giblet's kind of like looking back and forth, but Juliana's not really looking with her eyes. She kind of grabs at your hand and just like clutches it, and you guys hold hands for a while during the concert. End of concert.
Adorable. Yay!
Yeah, you seem to have successfully um, wooed her a bit.
I did the date and
You-
I didn't fail.
Date complete. Juliana will remember this. All right. So, as you
That's a good
leave
gift.
this date, you start walking home with her, um, and you get to talking about the whole thing that had transpired. Um, and she's nerding about how she likes concerts and all that stuff. Um, and she starts like asking you like, "What are you into?" I mean, I don't really know what your interests are.
I don't know. It's had a bit of a rocky couple of years, to say the least. Before they all died, I would spend all my time with my flock, my family. And one of the things that Kenku can do is we can copy sounds really well. So usually we'd eavesdrop on people and then sort of play act the scenario, and then sort of put on our own little plays. And some of it would not be so nice, I admit, but I don't know. I think we got pretty creative and it was really fun.
Hmm. It does sound like fun.
And I use mimicry and I mimic her voice, no, Grovel's voice, and say, yeah, there's a wide range.
She laughs. Is that supposed to be Grovel? It sounds just like him.
And then I do her. It's like, I am pretty good at this. I can do a bunch of different sounds if I've heard it before.
Is that what I sound like? Oh, wow, it's so different
I
coming from
think
someone
so.
else. Make another charisma
You
check.
have a nice voice. Ha ha! Okay.
Hell yeah.
I also realize the
No,
music
not
has
a skill.
stopped.
Cancel. Ability. Charisma. Nope.
She's sort of taken aback at her own voice coming back at her. But since you did so well on the date, she is not taken aback by this. She suddenly kind of realizes, oh, we've kind of walked past my apartment. Whoops. Here, let's just go back through
Yeah.
this way. And as you guys are walking along, the little drift globes that are like in the lanterns, like lighting down the path and whatnot, they're shining up, lighting up the statue of Elo Valore, the founder of Valore. And you're walking along through this sort of back alley, but then you see something flicker and one of the lights goes out, and then another, and then several more kind of down the street. You cast True Strike on herself, and Juliana's kind of familiar with this this sort of chant that you do to bring your True Strike to life. And she goes, What's wrong? Boom crash?
Juliana, is it normal for the lights to go out?
The lights
Maybe
went out?
ask Giblet. Yes.
Giblet,
It's creepy.
go search for anybody nearby. We're sort of out in the open here. Giblet flies up to go searching around. What do we do?
I don't know. Maybe we should go back to a more public area where there are more people.
Nobody's out. It's like midnight. And I'm going to take you
Shit.
here.
Oh no.
Oh, I also put your Raven Familiar in there because I thought you'd have them by then.
Yeah.
That's fine. So yeah, you're on the streets of Allure as the lights suddenly go out. Juliana's like a bit frightened. She kind of like rushes towards like this sort of ceremonial column or whatever. Come on, let's get back to my place. We should probably not stay in the
Okay.
open. Giblet, I'm trying to look through him. It's hard to concentrate while we're moving. I don't think he's seen anything. I'm gonna have him follow us. Okay?
Okay.
Juliana like starts like
Yeah,
watching
I'm gonna
herself walk on through this back alleyway. Oops, I moved you. She like looks around and she hears something. Boom crash. I think there's something over here, and she like points towards the byway. What are you doing?
Yeah. It's whatever it is, I'm putting myself between her and it. So.
Shh. Come on, let's go. Make a stealth check as she like pulls your arm and drags you down the alleyway.
Okay. Crap. Select. There we go. Kill. Else.
That's for Juliana. Okay, you're pretty quiet. Juliana's kind of like stumbling a bit as you lead her onward through the alleyway. You're being as soft as you can. You guys make it over here. At this point, you see like a loose can or jar like tumble out from like the trash, and it kind of like startles you for a second, but nothing seems to happen. But in this pitch darkness, with no more moonlight, you suddenly hear something. It sounds like a growling, like a dog or something.
Oh,
Is there something in the alleyway?
shit. Maybe. I have a suspicion.
Giblet, I can't see anything with Giblet, but
Get behind.
Yeah.
And if anything jumps out, run. Okay? Go to the Three Ravens, get to a public space, and
but my house is so close.
Is it warded? Is there protections there?
It's my apartment, but
Use your best judgment wherever you'll feel safe.
I'm an abjuration
You know
wizard.
this area better than me.
Remember, I can help myself a bit. Okay. I'm going to try and get my wards up, and she's going to cast shield on herself just to get her arcane ward set up. A shield starts shimmering around her. And boom crash, as you guys like stand back to back in this alleyway, you hear a louder snarl and a dripping, sort of, as Juliana is looking back and forth. Boom crash, you can see this, but Juliana seems unable to see it. There is a strange...
I mean, she obviously is blind, but she can't perceive it.
She can't perceive it through Giblet. There is a shadowy, hulking, dog-like figure approaching you from where Juliana heard that noise. It is drooling, and a shadowy darkness is dripping from its maw as it starts approaching. Meanwhile, another one also materializes. They seem to be made purely out of darkness and shadows. Meanwhile, at the other end of the alleyway, another one comes into existence.
Oh, god damn it.
They seemingly stepped out of the darkness. Guys, Mooncrash,
And
is
her
there...
apartment.
Hmm?
Oh, and her apartment is, like, past the
It's,
third
like, up
one.
here.
So... Okay. So she can't run, we're boxed in.
Don't you have a thing that allows you to teleport places?
I think she
No,
might. She has Misty
I don't.
Step, but that's for herself.
Oh, I thought you could take somebody
Yeah,
with
and
it.
I have
Nope,
Misty
that's
That's
Dimension
me.
Door.
Yeah, that's me.
As these
Yeah,
shadowy dogs start like pinning you into this alleyway, Juliana feels you pressing up against her. What's wrong? Is there something there?
Yes, there are. They're here for me, I think, not for you. You can run. I'll take care of it.
Where? Where do... Just... Okay. And she starts
Um,
running off down the alleyway.
There's the dog over there. Shit. And I cast fucking witch bolt. Fuck it.
Okay. You shoot out lightning past Juliana. Make an attack roll with... it has cover, essentially. Okay. That is still a hit. You connect with this shadowy figure, and it yelps as it recoils. Juliana, like, shrieks as she realizes that there's something near her. What the hell is this thing? Boom crash! What is this? And as the two mastiffs in the background and behind you start to take another step closer to you, Boom crash, you hear a voice within your head. Can't run from me. You can't run from our contract.
Fucking shitballs.
And that's where we're probably going to cut it off for tonight.
Awesome.
Mhm.
I'll deal damage to the dude, though. Do the
Okay.
Witch Bolt.
Yep. So
It's 5d12s.
5d12. So
All right. That is actually enough to kill it outright. So Juliana has an
this won't
escape
be a
route.
problem.
Oh yeah, this is done. This is over. All right. So you've used one of your spells and killed off one of the mastiffs. Juliana starts running down the alleyway, but we're gonna have to resolve this whole encounter next time.
next week.
Seems like the Dark Lady has come to act upon our reneged contract. So,
She's pissed I broke up with her.
a little bit. Thanks everyone that came out to watch. Sorry about the whole thing in the beginning with my voice not working. At least you got the information eventually. I'll make
Well, good.
note of it on the YouTube video or something. Okay, so thank you all for watching. Next week is the 3rd. If you can believe April is almost over.
What? It's gonna be May.
Indeed.
Ugh.
So are we all free for next week?
Yep.
Yep.
Alrighty. Sounds good. We will see you all then. Peace out. Home chats.
Adios.
Yes.
Bye. Have a
I
good
love
week.
you. Go to sleep.
Have a good night and stay safe. Bye.
Indeed.